the global altars descend. While everyone else offers their most valuable possessions, desperate for a white light reward, I toss a single bag of spicy snacks onto the altar. The crowd around me sneers. Just another broke loser begging for attention. But then, the altar erupts with the highest tier red beam, and a mythic-grade item that has never appeared before emerges from the light. All because I have awakened a unique grade ability, the Eye of Truth. It lets me see the coordinates and demands of every altar. As long as I offer exactly what each altar wants, I get the highest reward. But just a few hours ago, I was still a corporate slave, drained dry of every penny by my ex-girlfriend. She took the brand new Dior bag I bought her, then climbed into a shiny new Maybach. Walking down the street, I felt like the sky was about to fall. And then, the sky really did roar. A massive boom split the air, and countless altars rained down from above. In an instant, the whole world is bathed in purple light. Suddenly, a sharp pain stabs through my eyes. When I open them again, I see lines of text on a nearby altar. Text only I can read. Altar number 666, connected coordinate, the endless abyss. A colossal beast that has devoured all things dwells here. Endless ages have left it bored beyond words. Right now, it craves something that can deliver the ultimate taste shock. A crowd is forming around the altar. A chubby guy steps up. He throws his loaf of bread onto the altar. A moment later, a soft white light blooms from the altar. A glowing fruit then appears. The chubby guy starts panting in excitement and shoves the fruit straight into his mouth. The fat on his body melts away in seconds. He transforms into a chiseled, muscular hunk right before our eyes. The crowd loses their minds. They rush to throw their most valuable items onto the altars. Patek Philippe watches, gold, diamonds. The crazed crowd tosses everything in without a second thought. I watch the scene and almost shout out loud, because only I know that the creature behind this altar only wants the ultimate taste shock. And it just so happens, I have exactly that. A friend once brought me a bag of Reaper spicy strips from overseas. I licked it once, and my backside burned for 3 days and 3 nights. If a single loaf of bread earns an enhancement fruit, what would I get by giving it exactly what it craves? With that thought, I sprint home. I tear through every drawer until I find that bag of Reaper spicy strips. Once I calm down, I do not rush back out. I open my computer to check the news. Sure enough, the entire global internet has exploded. Every website is flooded with one word, altars. A tycoon offered a truckload of gold. He was granted extraordinary power, because after he hauled in crates of gold bars by truck and dumped everything onto the altar, he got a blue light reward. The altar returned a seed glowing with blue radiance. After swallowing it, the tycoon gained the terrifying ability to summon vines. One more piece of news catches my attention. Sakura Nation. Offering failed. A flesh-eating demon was summoned. It turns out a master offered his ancestral sword. What appeared instead was a demon wreathed in black mist. Casualties in Sakura Nation are catastrophic. The military is now involved. I read the news and suck in a sharp breath. So a failed offering can summon disaster. That means giving each altar exactly what it wants is everything. At that moment, my phone buzzes violently. Dragon Nation official alert. Initial research has revealed major risks and limits with the mysterious altars. Each person may offer to the same altar only once, and may make at most 3 offerings per day. The descent of the altars also triggered an unknown energy pulse, which has destroyed every surveillance device on the planet. My heart clenches. This is a gift from heaven. I check the time on my phone. 10 p.m. I pack up the Reaper spicy strips. Without hesitation, I sneak back to the plaza. The place is empty now, with only scraps of leftover offerings from the day. I pull the Reaper spicy strips from my pocket and carefully place them on the altar. The altar reacts violently. A red beam of light erupts toward the sky. In an instant, the entire city is bathed in blood-red light. Even residents miles away on the streets are terrified by this earth-shaking sight. And then, I see a massive jet-black egg materialize on the altar. I scoop it up immediately. Without pausing for a second, I vanish from the scene. At the same moment, alarms blare inside the headquarters of the Anomaly Affairs Bureau in the Dragon Nation capital. A stern-faced man demands, "Have we locked the coordinates?" "Reporting, General. Based on the data we collected, we have narrowed down the general area. The location on the map is exactly where I am. The Western District of Riverside City, Dragon Nation. Designate this area as an S-level observation zone immediately. Notify the Riverside City branch. Spare no cost. Find out what that red light was." By now, I have already made it back home. Looking at the giant egg in my arms, I am genuinely puzzled. What is this thing? I cannot exactly crack it open and make golden fried rice. Suddenly, a line of text appears on the shell. Abyssal Dragon Egg. Grade Mythic. Once hatched, the owner gains an abyssal dragon as a companion. Its power rivals that of gods. Reading this, I am thrilled. Anyone who plays games knows Mythic is the highest grade of all. The Reaper spicy strips really did not let me down. Then I realized something strange. Why can my eyes also analyze the rewards from the altar? I rush to the bathroom and stare hard at myself in the mirror. A line of text appears. Eye of Truth. Grade. Unique. Can see through the cause and effect of all things. Gaze upon an altar to reveal its connected coordinate and required offering. Gaze upon any altar-related item to reveal its grade, name, and effect. So that is how it works. I never imagined these eyes could do so much. Suddenly I remember the forum posts I saw earlier. Countless people made offerings and got back a piece of dead wood that meant nothing to them. Or a plain, ordinary rock. They had no idea what these things did, so they wasted them. But I am different. One glance is all it takes. All hidden information becomes mine to see. Hunting for hidden treasures is no longer just a fantasy. I tuck the dragon egg into my bed and glance at the clock on the wall. 10:30 p.m. Until midnight, I have 1.5 hours left. I still have 2 offerings remaining today. With that in mind, I start packing things that might come in handy. Tiger balm, a lighter, a philosophy book. Things others might call junk, I take all of it. Last, I shove a fruit knife into the bag for self-defense. Then my eyes land on the picture frame on my desk. Vivian smiles brightly in that photo. Keeping it serves no purpose. None at all. I shoved the photo into my pocket, planning to throw it away. Outside, I head straight for the abandoned industrial district in the western part of the city. The place has been deserted for years. The terrain is complex. Perfect ground for my plan. Then my phone rings out of nowhere. The caller is none other than my ex-girlfriend Vivian. I hang up immediately. I block her and delete her contact. At that very moment, in a 5-star hotel, Vivian is with Damon. She had assumed I was still hunched in my shabby rental, sulking in misery. Who would have thought the next second her call would be hung up? A nameless rage flares up inside her. How dare a worthless loser she dumped hang up on her? What is wrong, babe? A simple greeting melts away Vivian's anger in an instant. Looking at the man in front of her, she is more than satisfied. He can casually pull out bags worth tens of thousands and watches worth hundreds of thousands. These are the finest offerings of this new era. In the face of such fortune, devotion and vows mean nothing. After all, when she offered the Dior bag I gave her, the altar erupted in soul-stirring green light, and her next 2 offerings also produced that rare green light. Clearly, she is the chosen one of this era. Damon sitting beside her also seems deeply interested in Vivian, but deep in his eyes, there is nothing but calculation. He had only planned to spend a little money for fun. He never expected this woman's luck to be this absurd. 3 offerings in a row, all green light. Keeping her around might prove very useful later. Meanwhile, I have already reached the abandoned industrial district. I have to find 2 suitable altars and make my offerings before midnight. Otherwise the chances are wasted. Just a few steps in, I spot an altar. Altar number 25091. Connected coordinate. The junkyard realm. A mechanical imp that takes joy in collecting trash. It has a nearly obsessive fixation on bottle caps. I shake my head slightly. A trash-collecting mechanical imp. How great a reward could it possibly give? I keep walking, and another altar appears ahead. Altar number 18472. Connected coordinate. The dried pond. A carp spirit on the verge of dying of thirst only wishes for one more sip of sweet fresh water. Not satisfied with this one either. I keep moving until I reach a small alley filled with trash. After making sure no one is around, I lock my eyes onto another altar. Altar number 4444. Connected coordinate. The Theater of Sorrows. A tragic heroine doomed to repeat her role on stage forever has grown deeply weary of her predetermined script. She now craves an item born from real betrayal, soaked in pure hatred and burning resentment. My breath catches. The altar number is 4 4s, and the demand is impossibly specific. But wait, I just got dumped. I pull out the photo of Vivian. I drag the fruit knife across her face. Afraid I cannot channel enough hatred and resentment, I close my eyes and start remembering. You came down with a fever? I already promised my best friend we would go shopping. Just drink more water yourself. Where is my gaming account? I sold it. Men who play games are wasting their lives. I am keeping that few thousand to buy us nice food. You should grow up. I am not going to suffer alongside you. We were never meant to live in the same world. Please stop bothering me. Remembering all this, I suddenly smile. I pull the lighter from my pocket and flick it on. After scorching part of the photo, I place the offering onto the altar. A purple beam shoots up. The reaction is less explosive than the red light, but the news has not mentioned this color before. I feel a quiet thrill. 5 tattered ticket stubs appear. I grab them in my fist. The Eye of Truth activates. Text appears. Set item, ticket to Act 4. Grade, epic. One-time use. When used, it forces the target to relive their deepest fears or most painful memories. Their mind collapses for 3 seconds, leaving them unable to act. Epic grade. Not as powerful as the Dragon Egg, but a 3-second hard control item is enough to decide life and death in a fight, and this seems to be part of a set. What happens if I collect all the earlier acts? No time to think about it. Only 30 minutes left until midnight. I search through the entire industrial district. I find another altar. Altar number 7591. Connected coordinate, the Lost Crossroads. A lost explorer longs for the right direction. I shake my head, turn, and walk away. There is no advice I can offer for that demand. After walking a bit further, another altar catches my eye. Altar number 1988. Connected coordinate, the Silent Library. An elderly head librarian longs to hear one heartfelt word of praise from another. I almost choose this one. But then I remember the bitter days I have lived through. I have to maximize my gain. After wandering around in a wide circle, I finally discover a massive factory workshop. Inside is an altar. Altar number 101010. At first, the number does not impress me. Then I realize something. This number is binary code. A line of text appears. Connected coordinate, the logic singularity. A super AI on the verge of awakening self-awareness. It has mastered every form of complex reasoning, but still cannot understand one paradox. Why do intelligent beings ponder questions that hold no meaning for survival? It craves a sample of such useless wisdom. I decide instantly. This is the one. I pull a book out of my backpack. A philosophy book called Being and Nothingness. The match is absolutely perfect. I place the book on the altar. A piercing screech tears at my eardrums. The air fills with the burnt smell of fried electronics. I panic for a second. Did I just fry the AI's processor? Then suddenly, a pillar of golden light bursts toward the sky. The entire workshop is bathed in light. My heart pounds wildly. In just a few hours, I have collected red, purple, and gold lights. 3 colors not even reported online. Suddenly, a deadly chill rushes at me from behind. The bright light lets me catch a glimpse of a dark figure. He charges at me with inhuman speed. His blade is about to plunge into my back. But the next second, the attacker's body suddenly freezes. A scream of agony follows. His knife clatters to the floor. He clutches his head in pain. Because in the split second before I could react, I had already used the ticket to Act 4. 3 seconds of being trapped in his most painful memories. I yank the fruit knife from my waist. One swift strike, and he is finished. Then I lean against the wall, shaking uncontrollably. It is my first time killing someone. Looking at the corpse, I turn my head and throw up everything in my stomach. A moment later, I force myself to stand. So high-tier light pillars mean opportunity, but they are also a death warrant. They attract predators lurking in the dark. Then I notice something on the corpse. 2 dim white orbs of light hover above the body. The Eye of Truth activates. Light step leggings, grade, common. Slightly increases movement speed and jumping power. Status, unbound. I look at the second item. Crude stamina charm, grade common. Slightly increases physical endurance. Status, unbound. Those words send a shock through my mind. A brutal rule surfaces in my head. Kill and claim. Take down a target, and the items they earn through offerings become yours. This guy had 2 practical items on him. He has probably done this to others before. So why is the entire internet full of light pillars and rewards, but not a single post mentions this risk? The more I think about it, the colder my blood runs. It is not that nobody knows. The ones who know have all chosen silence. Some of them are like the corpse on the ground. Others want to be the hunter. And some simply do not dare to speak. The government, for example. Announcing this would be admitting that the existing social order has already collapsed. The Dark Forest law is taking over. The entire world would spiral into chaos. With that thought, I cannot afford to waste time. I gather up the 2 white orbs and look toward the center of the altar. A fist-sized metallic cube sits there. The Eye of Truth activates. Dimensional Vault. Grade, Legendary. Once bound, the user gains a dimensional space with an initial volume of 1,000 cubic meters. Altar-related items can be stored or retrieved at will through thought. Legendary grade. And a logistics-type item. I immediately think of the dragon egg back at home. Storing it in this space is the safest option. The instant my finger touches the cube, a vast space opens up inside my consciousness. With a single thought, I drop the tickets to Act 4 inside as well. Once it is done, I check my phone. Just past midnight. I sheathe the blood-stained fruit knife and prepare to leave the place. But just 2 steps out, a massive bolt of lightning rips across the sky. Huge raindrops crash down. A moment ago the sky was clear with bright moonlight. How is it suddenly pouring? This rain is wrong. I freeze in place, not daring to make a move. I have an umbrella in my bag, but I have no idea if this rain is dangerous. After all, if altars can fall from the sky, rain that mutates people is not out of the question. I pull out my phone to check. Sure enough, the forums are flooded with posts about the rain. The hot topic minutes ago was offerings. Now it is all people asking, is it raining and thundering on your end too? Guys, this rain is definitely off. Do not let it touch you. Watch out for mutations. Oh no, I got rained on. I have never even held a girl's hand. Please do not turn me into a zombie. Post refresh at lightning speed, and my heart sinks bit by bit. If this rain really does infect people, the consequences are unthinkable. Before I can come up with a plan, a red flagged post makes my heart drop. Holy crap, something huge just happened. The altars are gone. After collecting the red, purple, and gold lights, 3 colors that have never appeared online, I had been getting ready to head home. Then the clear moonlit sky suddenly turned into a downpour. The forums are flooded with posts about the rain, refreshing faster than I can read. But the most alarming post is not about the rain. It is the red-flagged headline. Something big is happening. The altars are gone. I whip my head around to check. Sure enough, the altar behind me has vanished. And to my horror, the corpse from before is also gone. But I am certain no one has been here. The only explanation is the rain. When it falls, the altars disappear. It also washes away every trace of the previous day. Combined with the destruction of all surveillance equipment worldwide, this is the perfect environment for murder and theft. Since the rain itself is harmless, I pull out my umbrella and head home. Not long after I leave, the Anomaly Affairs Bureau arrives at the scene. They quickly locate the workshop where the altar had been. Commander Ryan immediately turns toward the back of his team. A young woman in her 20s steps forward. After her offering yesterday, she gained an ability. Energy Rewind. It lets her sense the residual energy fluctuations in a space. The higher the tier, the clearer the trace. Agent Emily closes her eyes and starts to feel. Suddenly she lets out a stifled gasp and stumbles backward. Ryan catches her instantly. What is it? Emily breathes hard, her voice trembling. This is completely different from the previous scene. That one was a firefly. This is bright as daylight, warm as the sun. A team member cannot help but speak up. Could it be gold light? Ryan's face turns grave instantly. Lock down this area. Conduct a thorough sweep. Report this to headquarters immediately. Tell them I suspect a monster beyond imagination is hiding here. Meanwhile, the moment I get home, I move the dragon egg into the dimensional space. From now on, I never have to worry about it being discovered. If the hatched dragon could fit in there too, that would be ideal. But first, I need to figure out how to hatch it. I remember the blood binding rituals from movies. I decide to try it. I squeeze a drop of blood onto the shell. Suddenly, a line of small text appears on the egg. Hatching condition, absorb a sufficient amount of blood. Close to what I expected, but my own blood will never be enough. I will have to figure something out tomorrow. After all, my mind has been wound tight all day, and exhaustion is catching up. I fall asleep quickly. At 5 a.m., a piercing alarm jolts me awake. The altars have refreshed for real. I open my phone and check the forums. A few conclusions emerge quickly. The pre-dawn gray rain causes no harm to the body. It stops at 5 a.m., sharp, and the altars refresh at that same moment. I plan to head out for breakfast and at the same time, think about where to find enough blood. I order a bowl of noodles at a small restaurant. I open the forums on my phone. Today every topic revolves around offerings. Plenty of people have turned into compulsive gamblers over the altars. While I am eating, I overhear a conversation at the next table. One of the men leans in and says in a hushed tone, "Look at all those people out there, obsessed with offering to altars, tossing antique jade pieces in there like degenerate gamblers. They have forgotten one important thing." The other man asks, "What could be more important than the altars?" People still need to eat. They have to eat. So food, oil, and rice are always essential. I am planning to snatch up a small food processing factory at rock-bottom prices. When those lunatics burn through all their money and come crying for food, I will be the food king of Riverside City. At those words, a bolt of lightning explodes in my mind. Food processing involves meat. And where does that meat come from? Slaughterhouses, without a doubt. If I can buy out a slaughterhouse at a bargain price, the blood problem solves itself. I rush back home, open my computer, and start digging through listings. Because of the altars, many factories are now up for sale. I quickly lock onto one listing. Small slaughterhouse on the western outskirts of Riverside City. Urgent sale due to personal reasons. Price negotiable. Without hesitation, I dial the number. We agree on a meeting time. After hanging up, I check my account balance. To some people, this amount would not even cover a single decent offering. But for me, it just might buy a private dragon's nest. 2 p.m. I arrive at the western outskirts of Riverside City. A middle-aged man comes out to greet me. He starts pitching the property. This slaughter line had expensive maintenance done last month. The cold storage refrigeration is top of the line. I just scan the place saying nothing. My cold demeanor makes him uneasy. He tentatively throws out an inflated price. I do not respond. I just shake my head. After some back and forth, I buy the place for 40% of his asking price. He signs the contract and hands over the keys. He also gives me the contact number for a nearby livestock farm. Supply chain problem solved instantly. I do a walkthrough of the property I just bought, then I push open a hidden hatch in the ground. It leads to a worn-down storage room. Suddenly, the Eye of Truth senses a faint energy fluctuation. I carefully brush aside the dust, and an altar emerges before me. Its surface is blood red, and the sound of a beating heart drifts from it. I force down my fear and activate the Eye of Truth. A sharp pain shoots through my eyes. Twisted, blood-burning text appears. Altar number 40, connected coordinate, the Crimson Throne. All things are food, until the Crimson Crown is claimed. Special trait 1, Eternal Altar. This altar exists permanently. It does not count toward the daily offering limit. Unlimited offerings allowed. Special trait 2, Flesh Forge. Any altar reward can be offered here and converted into source blood. Absorbing it permanently boosts the user's overall vitality. My mind reels. This is the lowest numbered altar I have ever seen, and it is permanent. What is even more insane, the offerings are unlimited, and the location is essentially my private domain. With this altar as a hub, every useless reward I get later can be turned into source blood to strengthen my body. The urge to test it is overwhelming. Conveniently, I have an altar reward right in my pocket. I toss in the crude stamina charm I picked up last night. An ancient-looking glass bottle materializes in the center of the altar, half filled with a dark liquid. The Eye of Truth activates. Source blood, once absorbed, slightly increases overall vitality. Permanent enhancement. Exactly what I expected. Without hesitation, I drink it down. I expect a foul, bloody taste. Instead, it is crisp and sweet. Just as I am wondering why I feel nothing, a wave of heat erupts inside me. Every cell in my body greedily drinks in the energy. Steam starts rising off my skin. This sensation is nothing like the items I have used before. This power surges directly from my flesh and blood. I walk over to half a beef carcass hanging on a hook. One simple punch, and over 100 pounds of beef goes flying into the corner. This is more terrifying than I imagined. I have only absorbed one bottle of common source blood. Becoming a god in the flesh might not be a dream. I push down my excitement. Tomorrow I will buy a batch of chickens to hatch the dragon egg. But right now, I need to collect the reward items nobody wants. Countless people have spent fortunes on offerings, only to receive garbage. Those are exactly my target. Gambling is risky. Picking up trash is not. That afternoon, I get in touch with a livestock farm owner, only to run into a new problem. Buying a batch of chickens costs money, and the slaughterhouse purchase has drained my savings. The new era has arrived, but currency still moves the world. So I decide to go on a scavenging run first, and see if I can find any treasures. Now that I have the exclusive Crimson Throne altar, I start hunting for more altars to use up my daily offering limit. But unexpectedly, the moment I reach the wet market, a piercing scream rips through the air ahead. A humanoid creature in tattered monk robes is tearing into a passerby. I immediately activate the Eye of Truth. The carnivore monk, Wrathful One. Ordinary calamity. Falsely accused of stealing and eating mutton, he was beaten to death. He was a temple guard. He hates everything connected to meat offerings. It clicks immediately. Some genius offered meat to an altar, and summoned this calamity beast, walking straight into the line of fire. Suddenly, several off-road vehicles roar in. Doors slam open, and figures leap out. At the front is Commander Ryan of the Anomaly Affairs Bureau. His face is grim as he barks orders. The scene is locked down within seconds. The crowd is quickly evacuated, but I stay close, not leaving. Ryan glances back at the woman behind him. Commander Ryan, the energy fluctuation is very strong. Be careful. Emily's expression is serious. From behind the cordon, I hear every word clearly. Holy crap. She can sense energy fluctuations. What kind of ability is that? Suddenly, Emily's senses pick up something. She looks straight at me. Our eyes meet. I force down the panic rising in my chest. On the surface, I maintain the curiosity and fear of an ordinary bystander. Emily's brow furrows slightly. She just sensed an unusual energy fluctuation, but it was too faint. She is not sure. Was it just her imagination? Right at that moment, the wrathful monk inside the market lets out a furious roar. Ryan immediately orders his team to lay down suppressing fire, but the monk is completely unaffected by firearms. Seeing this, Ryan shouts, "Squad 2, move!" The words have barely left his mouth when two figures shoot forward, one from each side. One of them moves so fast he leaves an afterimage. He raises a dagger and strikes at the back of the monk's neck. The other lifts a massive iron rack and slams it down on the creature's head. The fierce assault leaves the monk wide open. Ryan seizes the opening and joins the fight himself. His long blade crackles with blinding electricity. A single strike, and the monk's head falls clean off. Watching this, I am genuinely shocked. Their coordination is flawless, and the gap between us right now is enormous. I need to level up fast. The sun is about to set. I decide to find a safer area to search for altars. I head toward the outskirts. Along the way, I see plenty of altars, but their overall quality is even worse than the first day. As I walk past an unfinished building, the Eye of Truth picks up a faint energy fluctuation. I climb the stairs to the second floor. A strangely shaped altar appears before me. Altar number 1955. Connected coordinate. The City of Eternal Clocks. A clockmaker god who pursues absolute precision. Because the eternal clock he created is too perfect, he has fallen into endless boredom. He longs for change. Reading this, I cannot help but mutter, is this guy just bored out of his mind? The altar number is low, which suggests good rewards, but time cannot be seen or touched. I cannot think of any offering that fits, so I leave for now and search elsewhere. As I head deeper into the outskirts, I find another altar. This one is woven from spider silk. Altar number 37112. Connected coordinate the pig demon's lair. A pig demon mother who has lost her singing voice. Her child cries every night from nightmares. She wants to sing the pig demon's lullaby once more to soothe him. Reading this, my head starts spinning. I cannot even hum a single human lullaby all the way through. A pig demon's lullaby is way out of my league. I turn and leave, frustrated. 2 failures in a row are starting to make me anxious. Just as I am about to give up on this area, a faint glow from a bus stop catches my eye. I quickly walk toward it. An altar built entirely from matchsticks comes into view. Just standing near it, I am drowned in waves of sorrow. I activate the Eye of Truth. Altar number 23333. Connected coordinate the snowy street corner. In a blizzard, a little match girl feels confusion and sorrow like never before. She cannot understand why the people walking by no longer need the matches she sells. Reading the description, I am stunned. This familiar setup, this sorrowful atmosphere. Is this not the little match girl from the fairy tale? Even fairy tales have become real dimensions. As shocking as it is, this altar might actually have something. After thinking it over, I pull out the lighter I just bought and place it on the matchstick altar. Times are changing. If you cannot catch the wave, how are you ever going to sell matches? The moment my words fade, something strange happens. A deep hum rises from the altar, then a purple beam erupts from it. Here we go again. I immediately fix my gaze on the reward. A palm-sized box hovers in the air. I am full of questions, but I still rush forward and grab it. A bad feeling creeps in. Name, Matchbox of Hope. Grade, Epic. Generates 5 matches of hope automatically every day at 5 a.m. After reading this, I fall silent. An epic grade item that just produces 5 lousy matches a day? Out of curiosity, I pull out all the matches and hold them. Match of Hope. Grade, Common. When lit, it burns warm and bright. Wind and water cannot easily extinguish it. Inflicts bonus burning damage on calamity targets. Damage to calamities. Now that is interesting. If I run into a blacklight monster, this could come in handy. But only 5 matches a day still feels weak. Just as I am about to put the matchbox into the dimensional vault, a thought strikes like lightning. The matches are common grade. If I offer them all to the Crimson Throne, would I not get 5 free bottles of source blood every day? I cannot hold back the excitement anymore. I have to test it right now. I sprint back toward the slaughterhouse. 20 minutes later, I burst into the slaughterhouse. I rush to the Crimson Throne. I take out one match and place it in the center. I hold my breath, watching closely. The next second, a familiar scene unfolds. A small dark red bottle materializes out of thin air. Source blood. It worked. My heart races with excitement. The Matchbox of Hope combined with the Crimson Throne. This combo is incredible. 0 risk, and a steady, terrifying stream of gains. After offering all the remaining matches, I now have 5 bottles of source blood. I drink them all down. My blood feels like it is boiling. My whole body burns with heat. A few minutes later, I finally adapt to the new power. I check my phone. There are only 2 hours left until midnight. 2 offering chances left, and I cannot afford to waste them. The City of Eternal Clocks altar comes back to mind. Low number, time-based theme. Its reward must be powerful. But what could possibly serve as the right offering? At that thought, I look around the room. My eyes land on an old desk calendar. My father brought it home from his office before he passed away. I have never had the heart to throw it out. The calendar is covered in markings of all kinds. The most striking one is a black circle drawn on June 7th. That is the day my parents died in a car accident. It is also the day I visit their graves every year. Flipping further, September 15th is the day Vivian and I started dating. December 24th is her birthday. There are many other markings as well. Payday, credit card due, a classmate's wedding, rent payments. Some good, some bad. Together they map out a timeline that belongs to me. Suddenly the idea about the clock altar becomes clear. The time it creates is flawless. No deviation. No surprises, no accidents, no joy, no pain. It is like a dead world. but this calendar is different. It carries the trajectory of a single human life. The time inside it is messy, complex, full of uncertainty. Time like that is alive. What the altar needs is not more advanced technology. It needs an understanding of time. With that thought, I head out, straight for the clock altar. When I stand before it again, I take out the calendar and solemnly place it in the center. Perfect time has no life. This time, full of regrets and an imperfect life, is the kind that is truly alive. Do you like this change? The moment my words fade, the calendar on the altar vanishes. Time itself seems to freeze. Everything around me falls dead silent. Suddenly, golden light explodes outward. The entire unfinished building blazes with brightness. Countless fragments of human lives flash before my eyes like a runaway slideshow. At the same time, an ancient pocket watch materializes at the center. I quickly activate the Eye of Truth. Pocket Watch of Fate. Grade, Legendary, Passive Ability, grants the wielder extreme sensitivity to incoming changes. The user gains reaction and judgment time far beyond ordinary humans. Reading this, I cannot help but frown. What good is that? But the moment I close my hand around the watch, an indescribable sensation washes through me. I realize how foolish I was. This watch does not grant raw strength or speed. It grants control and awareness. It allows me to channel my superhuman vitality and strength with absolute precision. To be safe, I quickly place the Pocket Watch of Fate into the dimensional vault. To my surprise, the resonance with the world does not weaken at all. It still works. From now on, if I ever face another sneak attack, I can take them down without using any of my trump cards. I check the time again. 10:40 p.m., just over an hour until the altars refresh. One last offering left. But after combing through the entire area, I only find two useless altars. One connects to a swamp full of giant mosquitoes. The other connects to a dung beetle paradise. Suddenly, faint shouting and cursing drifts in from the distance. There are other people here? I instantly go on alert. Crouching low, I sneak forward. In an open storage yard, two groups of people are facing off. Right beside them stands an altar glowing with soft pink light, shaped like a delicate, slender hand. My heart pounds against my will. This altar looks anything but ordinary. I activate the Eye of Truth, and look. Altar number 9269. Connected coordinate, the Palace of Bliss. A succubus queen who has fought countless battles, numb to ordinary pleasure. She craves a physical stimulation that can shake the soul. Reading this, I suck in a sharp breath. The altar number is low, but the description is, well, a bit unconventional. Then I instinctively pat my backpack and remember one item I have inside. That is a perfect match. At that moment, the situation in the yard shifts. On one side stands a bald man wearing a thick gold chain, backed by more than a dozen thugs. The other side only has 4 people. At the front is a tall, striking woman. The bald thug sneers and steps forward. Do not make us do this the hard way. You have the nerve to steal from my brothers? Hand it over now, throw in a few extra treasures, and maybe we will let you live. But the woman across from him just spits out one cold word. Get lost. The bald man flies into rage. Brothers, get them! Just as the dozen-plus thugs charge in screaming, the 4 on the woman's side instantly form a defensive formation. The woman, dagger in hand, charges right back at the thugs. The others are no slouches either. One of them, a powerhouse type, swings a steel pipe with brutal force. The other 2 strike at the legs and groin. The thugs start losing ground fast. The bald man roars in fury and unleashes a kick at the powerhouse fighter. The man spits blood instantly and flies a few meters back. With the bald man joining the fight, the tide turns instantly. The woman's allies are cut down one after another. The bald man corners the woman against a shipping container. She does not back down. A flash of cold ferocity crosses her eyes. All of you, die. The bald man senses danger and tries to retreat, but the woman crushes a flesh bead in her hand. Black mist sweeps across the entire yard. From within emerges a creature over 3 meters tall. Holy crap. A black light monster. The thugs freeze in horror. But what happens next is even worse. The monster turns the moment it appears and immediately rips the closest powerhouse fighter in half. The bald man is scared out of his wits. She is insane. That woman is completely insane. She kills her own people. The thugs scatter, but the monster has already surrounded them. A one-sided slaughter begins. I watch from the sidelines, my heart pounding. This woman is genuinely ruthless. To escape, she is willing to drag everyone down to hell with her. She is a walking time bomb. Within minutes, the only one left fighting is the bald thug, struggling to escape. But with one leap, the monster pins him down. A few minutes later, the yard has become a slaughterhouse. The thugs and the woman's allies are all corpses now. But the monster keeps prowling, looking for more targets. The woman who summoned it is hiding behind a pillar, not daring to even breathe. I check the time, frowning. 11:50 p.m. I cannot wait any longer, or my last offering of the day is wasted. I take a deep breath, steady myself, and channel all my vitality. I charge straight at the wild woman. Die! The woman behind the pillar senses danger immediately. But instead of running, she grips her dagger and counterattacks. She thrusts the blade at my chest from an impossibly tricky angle. The old me would never have dodged this strike. But with the source blood and the pocket watch of fate at work, her attack trajectory is laughably clear. I can even predict her follow-up after I dodge. I tilt my body slightly and slip past the strike. Before she can react, I slash open her arm. Another slash takes out her other hand. Both her arms are useless in an instant. She starts screaming for mercy. We can talk, please, mister. Have a little pity. But my eyes are ice cold. No mercy. Once a fight starts, you finish it. I drive the fruit knife straight at her throat. There is no way she can dodge this. But just as the blade is about to touch her neck, the woman screams, and with a loud pop, she explodes into a cloud of blood mist out of nowhere. My blade cuts through empty air. After the mist clears, the woman is gone without a trace. I am stunned. She did not die. She escaped right in front of me. What kind of insane ability is that? I had assumed she would be an easy kill tonight. I never imagined this world could be so deep. A survival skill like this is something I have never even heard of. Still, she will not dare come back anytime soon. Right at that moment, a roar mixed with rushing wind snaps me back. The blacklight monster has spotted me. Just as its claws are about to rake across me, I take a small step back and evade the strike. Using the brief opening when its attack misses, I slice a gash across its leg with the fruit knife. The monster howls in pain and counterattacks. But every move it makes looks like slow motion to me. The prediction granted by the pocket watch of fate is just too strong. Within a few exchanges, I use my superior footwork and speed to leave it covered in wounds, but I cannot find its fatal weakness. As I keep dancing around it, I activate the Eye of Truth. The back of its skull glows red. That is the spot. I use the light step leggings to leap high into the air. I drive the knife into the back of its skull with every ounce of strength I have. Its massive body crashes to the ground. I let out a long breath. Finally done. I cannot afford to waste a second. I pull the dragon egg out of the dimensional space. Dinner time, little guy. I place it next to the monster's corpse. The egg seems to come alive. The pool of blood on the ground vanishes at a visible rate. Even the monster's corpse withers up within moments. A line of small text appears on the egg. Hatching progress, 2%. My heart races with excitement. The breeding strategy works. I am thrilled. I place the dragon egg back at the spot where the two groups fought. Within moments, the egg drains every drop of blood from the ground. A few scattered orbs of light pop up beside the corpses. I scan them briefly. Nothing valuable. I toss them all into the dimensional vault. Once I get back, I will convert them into source blood. This haul is a jackpot. With everything done, I turn my eyes toward the seductive succubus altar. Craving stimulation, my succubus queen? Then feel the charm of fire and ice. I pull out the tiger balm. I place it on the altar. The jade hand seems to come alive. A purple light quickly wraps around me. With a stimulant this intense, I figured it would at least trigger a red mythic light, but all I get is purple. Looks like this queen has seen way too much in her time. But the next second, something strange happens. The purple energy does not fade. Instead, it gathers on the altar into a human shape. A blurry figure slowly emerges. I instinctively grip my knife, but what appears is a stunning female figure with a perfect body. A pair of delicate little demon horns sit on her head. Behind her, a tail with a heart-shaped tip sways gently. A living, breathing succubus. Her dreamy gaze locks onto me. Mortal, you have pleased me. As your reward, I will grant you one chance to fulfill any wish. The succubus's voice leaves my throat dry. The blood in my body starts rushing somewhere it should not. Holy crap, I just unlocked a hidden tier wife. But just as the air thickens with tension, a wildly out-of-place hum cuts through. The dragon egg beside me starts shaking violently. Before I can react, an indescribable, terrifying suction force erupts from the black egg. The freshly formed succubus freezes. She senses death itself. The suction defies all logic. It drags her in instantly. The moment she touches the egg, she dissolves into pure purple energy and is devoured by it. Dead silence surrounds me. I freeze on the spot, my mind blank. What just happened? Where is my epic grade wife? The dragon egg on the ground lets out what sounds like a satisfied burp. Then it slowly floats back into my arms. I hold it with trembling hands, because the text on the egg is climbing wildly. Hatching progress just shot up to 41%. The energy of one epic grade succubus is that massive? At the same time, I notice a purple glow on the egg, with a few tiny heart-shaped marks now etched into it. An abyssal dragon paired with little hearts. The egg nuzzles restlessly against me. I know my succubus wife is not coming back. I jab the shell with a vicious poke. You better hatch into a hot girl to make up for this. Right at that moment, a clap of thunder splits the sky. The gray rain begins. I duck under a nearby awning, and every trace of the earlier battle dissolves in seconds. I start replaying the fight in my head. That woman escaping bothers me. It is like a venomous snake hiding in the shadows. I decide to slip into a nearby 3-story building, hoping to catch her. A surprise kill could put an end to this threat for good. Meanwhile, at the Anomaly Affairs Bureau headquarters in the Dragon Nation capital, a researcher in a white coat bursts in. General, good news. We have cracked the secret of the Gray Rain. General Lee looks up in disbelief. Tell me everything. Professor Carter takes a deep breath. We analyzed an unknown active substance in the rain. It is harmless to the human body, but it temporarily disables superhuman abilities. What? General Lee freezes. Every senior officer in the command center wears an expression of shock. Professor Carter barrels on, his words tumbling out. Only after the rain fully evaporates do abilities return. That means between midnight and 5 a.m. During those exact hours, any so-called powerful sacrificer who gets touched by the rain reverts to normal. Just an ordinary human. General Lee's eyes flash with realization. If that is truly the case, then we can use the rainy nights to capture sacrificers who have slipped out of our control. Professor Carter adds, the rain itself cannot be stored, but if we can extract the active substance, we can develop suppressants or high-pressure water cannons. If they pull this off, it will be the sharpest weapon in their hands. Inside the abandoned building, I scroll through the forums while waiting for that woman. Suddenly, a post flashes by. Shocking secret, do not go outside when it rains. You will turn back into a mortal. When I tap on it, the post is already gone. I immediately sense it was deliberately deleted. If this is true, that means the crazy woman cannot escape into blood mist while it rains. But then a wave of unease hits me. Does that mean I would be affected too? If I revert to a mortal, then forget about hunting anyone. Then I remember the source blood from the Crimson Throne. The description says permanently solidified. That means it is not a temporary buff, not equipment. It is my own strength. The rain can strip away armor, but it cannot dissolve muscle. The dimensional vault is also a sealed space. It should not be contaminated. And the pocket watch of fate is inside the vault, so my perception ability stays intact. Under the gray rain, while everyone else gets reduced to weaklings, my own weakening is barely noticeable. Does that not make me the only god of this rainy night? My heart is about to burst. I have to test this. Right now, I stand in the gray rain that everyone else fears, a grin on my face I cannot even hold back. This rain can wipe out every superhuman ability, but it cannot touch the body enhancement from the source blood. While every other ability user gets reduced to weaklings, I am the only god of this rainy night. Meanwhile, the woman who witnessed my terrifying power has just escaped back to her mansion, using her blood escape ability. Her men in black, seeing her in this state, panic immediately. A butler rushes over. "Miss Scarlet, how did you get hurt this badly? Where are the others?" Scarlet's eyes are filled with terror. "They are all dead. Even I almost got killed by that stranger. He is terrifyingly strong." Orders the butler to bring a sketch artist. She is desperate to capture my face on paper. Meanwhile, the moment I get back to the slaughterhouse, I dump all my collected items into the Crimson Throne. These items lose their effect under the gray rain. Better to convert everything into source blood for personal enhancement. After downing all 4 bottles of source blood, I head inside and crash. At 5 a.m., I wake up right on schedule. I had already arranged things with the farm owner last night. The first batch of chickens has already arrived. I turn into a ruthless machine and start processing. After 500 chickens are fully consumed, the dragon egg's hatching progress reaches 42.3%. 500 chickens for only 1.3%. Is this thing not a literal money-eating beast? I decide to change my strategy. The arrival of the altars has hit traditional industries hard. The farm owner is anxious because he cannot move his livestock. If I can quickly turn his poultry into half-finished products and let him handle the sales channels, I only need to charge a processing fee, while the dragon egg absorbs what it needs. That works perfectly. I dial the farm owner, I lay out the idea straight up, and we hit it off immediately. That afternoon, Boss Walker delivers another 500 chickens. He even wants to bring in chickens from his competitors. I know he is angling to be a middleman and pocket the difference, but until the dragon egg hatches, I want him to bring me as much poultry as possible. After Boss Walker leaves, the flesh mill starts up again. This time I do not chase efficiency like I did in the morning. Instead, I focus on controlling the angle and force of each cut. This is a unique form of training. I can feel myself and the blade in my hand becoming more and more in sync. This repetitive work sharpens my control over my power. As night falls, the dragon egg's hatching progress reaches 43.6%. I shoulder my bag and head out. Night is the best time for offerings. On the other side of the city, Vivian and her boyfriend Damon arrive at Night Bar. They meet a man who calls himself Vince. After paying a 500,000 yuan introduction fee, Vince gives them a mysterious location. Soon, Vivian and Damon drive off. Damon cannot contain his excitement on the way. Once we get into the Black Shadow, the biggest underground organization in Riverside City, no one in this town will dare touch us. Your loser X and all those nobodies will know better than to mess with us. A flash of anticipation crosses Vivian's eyes too. That loser, probably scraping by somewhere right now, and he had the nerve to block me, has not sent a single message in days. Meanwhile, I sneeze on my way to find an altar. I just went through the darkest moment of my life. The altar only gave me a blue-grade item, the Windrunner boots. This item can dramatically boost movement speed, but during a rainy night it becomes useless. When I get back, I will offer it to the Crimson Throne first, and see what grade of source blood it converts into. By around 11 p.m., I spot something glowing by a small river. As I get closer, I find an altar that is different on the left and the right sides. On the left stands a flaming phoenix glowing with red light. On the right rises a dull, lifeless heavy ruler. I quickly activate the Eye of Truth. Only then do I realize the two altars are linked together by a thin thread of energy between them. So twin altars are actually a thing? But the more I look, the more uneasy I get, because neither altar is ordinary. The Phoenix Altar. Altar number 7766. Connected coordinate, the 9 heavens immortal realm. Selena, the proud daughter of the heavens, is troubled. 3 years ago, her fiancé Blaze suffered a regression in his cultivation. The family elders are now pressuring her to call off the engagement. She stands at a crossroads, unsure which path to take. The altar on the right is just as extraordinary. Altar number 6677, connected coordinate, the 9 heavens immortal realm. Blaze, the genius young man, has had his cultivation mysteriously stall. He has fallen from grace, now scorned by everyone as a useless wreck. He longs to break free, but no one will help him. Reading this, my heart pounds wildly. Selena and Blaze. I know exactly where this story is going. As the puppet master behind the scenes, what should I do now? If I do not push Selena to break off the engagement, Blaze may never activate his cheat power in the depths of despair, and I will get nothing. So I have to follow the story and stir the pot at the critical moment. Selena may not be heartless, but the pressure from her family has already planted the seed of breaking it off. So let this breakup come even more violently. Driving Blaze to the edge maximizes the reward. I quickly grab a pen and paper and start fanning the flames. Selena, how can a phoenix flock with sparrows? The path of cultivation is brutal. He can no longer keep pace with you. To reach the summit, you must first cut what holds you back. I place the paper into the phoenix altar. The altar produces a gentle suction, and the paper vanishes. A vision screen suddenly appears on the altar. Selena is sobbing uncontrollably. clutching her engagement token from Blaze. Outside her door, the family elder's cold voice rings out impatiently. Selena, stop being stubborn. The ancestors have decided. The Blaze family is no longer worthy of marrying into the Nalan family. She bites her lip hard. At that moment, a red feather flies in through the window and lands on her hand, carrying a slip of paper. After reading what is written on it, she suddenly trembles and whispers to herself, "How can a phoenix flock with sparrows?" The confusion in her eyes vanishes. Her phoenix bloodline begins to boil. She crushes the jade pendant in her hand and walks off with the elder, heading to the Blaze household without looking back. When the vision fades from the altar, I have officially become the mastermind behind the breakup. But no reward appears on the altar. Does the system require both sides to play out first? I turn my eyes to the heavy ruler altar. I pick up the pen again and write another message. A tiger on flat ground does not bow, just waiting for the wind to rise and laugh at the mountains and rivers. Fortunes rise and fall, never look down on a poor young man. After writing it, a surge of hot blood rushes to my head. I slap the note onto the altar. With a thunderous boom, the karmic vision this time bursts forth even more violently than before. Inside the Blaze family hall, the atmosphere is suffocating. Selena's expression is ice cold. Even the elder behind her wears nothing but contempt. The Nalan family hereby declares the engagement with the Blaze family officially broken. A toad lusting after a swan. Do not even think about dragging down the future of our holy maiden. The mockery from the crowd makes Blaze clench his fists. Endless humiliation surges in his chest. He looks towards Selena standing nearby, his eyes resolute. Fine. Then today I divorce you. From this day forward, we have nothing to do with each other. Afterwards, Blaze stands on the back mountain, roaring at the sky. Just as he is about to break, a slip of paper carrying my will drifts down and lands right on his face. He freezes for a moment. He unfolds it, and overly dramatic words leap into his vision. Fortunes rise and fall, never look down on a poor young man. Blaze's body trembles violently. The flame in his heart, almost extinguished, suddenly flares back to life. My fate is mine, not the heavens. I, Blaze, will never sink into oblivion. Just as his fierce conviction reaches its peak, the black ring on his right hand bursts with brilliant light. An aura that has slept for ages awakens from within. Little one, you have suffered all these years. Outside, the vision screen shatters in that instant. A surge of energy crossing time and space slams into the altar. The reward this time is going to be earth-shaking. What grade will it be? I stare hard at the altars. The Phoenix altar on the left erupts with a pillar of black light shooting into the sky. A terrifying aura explodes outward, soaked in rage and resentment. Holy crap. Black light. I am done for. I have to run. But at that moment, the heavy ruler altar on the right also bursts forth with a pillar of energy. Blinding red light lights up the entire sky. I stop dead in my tracks. Red light. I am not running anywhere. Looking at the rewards from both altars, my scalp tingles. One pillar of soaring black light and one of the red light that drives everyone mad. I make my decision instantly. Not running. I turn and sprint straight toward the heavy ruler altar, snatching the item that appears within the red light, a dagger wreathed in black mist. At the same time, the ground beneath my feet shakes violently. A figure rises from the black light altar. Her face bears a slight resemblance to Selena's, but her expression is wild with madness, and her voice is dripping with hatred. You made me lose him. I quickly activate the Eye of Truth. Selena's inner demon wraith. Grade, Epic. A resentment calamity born from twisted karma, shares the same bloodline as Selena, personality, obsessive and insane. I instantly try to bolt, but the wraith chases me down immediately. A massive force slams into my chest. Even with a body as tough as steel, I cough up a mouthful of blood. My heart sinks in pure terror. Holy crap, how am I supposed to fight this? The wraith closes in instantly. A straight punch aimed at my throat. The pocket watch of fate is screaming warnings. I leap back, dodging the strike, and counterthrust at the wraith. Just as I think the dagger will never pierce her defense, it slides in without any resistance. My eyes light up. This dagger is no joke. The wraith yelps in pain and retreats, refusing to engage at close range. Then she hurls a ball of black flame at me. I roll and barely dodge it, then prepare to go on the offensive. If the dagger can break her defense, then killing her is not impossible. I activate the Eye of Truth. Purple light flickers on the wraith's abdomen. That is her weak spot. I lunge forward, stabbing straight at her belly. The wraith blocks immediately, and one hand swipes at me. I shift the dagger's angle in an instant, slashing open a gash on her belly, but her sharp claws tear deep into my left arm. The light on the wraith's abdomen dims. Then we trade blows head on. I drive the wound on her belly even deeper, but I get smashed and sent flying as well. As I struggle to get up, my spine feels like it is about to snap. The light on the wraith's belly grows dimmer and dimmer. She presses her palms together, gathering every ounce of resentment in her body. A massive blade forms instantly and slashes down at me. This is exactly the opening I am waiting for. I throw out a ticket to Act 4. The wraith's giant blade dissolves instantly. Her face fills with confusion and regret. I burst forward at full speed, stabbing her abdomen again and again. Finally, her body crashes to the ground. The fight is over. My whole body is covered in wounds. My left arm and ribs are all broken. Even so, I do not forget the dragon egg. I take it out and quickly direct it to absorb the black blood on the ground. The hatching progress climbs rapidly, finally stopping at 49.6%. At the same time, the Eye of Truth catches something odd. The lingering resentment in the air does not dissipate. Instead, it all gathers into the black dagger. Only then do I remember I have not checked its properties yet. With the Eye of Truth active, the dagger's information appears before me. Soul Dagger Basic. Growth progress 97 points. Grade, growth type mythic, can devour souls, resentment, and fear to nourish itself. The wielder gains massive resistance to mental corruption. A flash of joy crosses my eyes. another mythic-grade item, and it resists mental attacks too. This is exactly what I have been missing. Source blood can boost my stats to terrifying levels, but if I get mind-controlled into a vegetable, even the strongest stats can be ground down to nothing. This dagger fills exactly that gap. After resting, I recover a bit of strength. I check my phone. 11:40 to 5 p.m. I drag my battered body limping toward the slaughterhouse. At the same time, 3 off-road vehicles are speeding toward this location. Commander Ryan in the passenger seat has a grim, dark expression. The past 2 days have nearly driven them mad. First the terrifying red light in the city center, then the gold light at the abandoned factory. Now another pillar of red light has erupted in the western outskirts. This time he has to find some leads, but Agent Emily beside him sounds shaky. Commander, if we do not arrive before midnight, every trace of the battle and residual energy will be washed away. When the convoy arrives, the scene is pure devastation. Clear battle marks cover the ground. Not far away lies a body that is neither human nor demon. Ryan immediately orders his team to gather evidence and signals Emily to use energy rewind. Emily steps forward briskly, presses her palms together, and closes her eyes. As soft blue light spreads outward just as a vision is about to appear, right before her eyes, her body suddenly jolts. She spits out a mouthful of blood and collapses backward, unconscious. Ryan is shocked and immediately catches her. At the same time, scattered raindrops begin to fall, and a bolt of lightning splits the sky. Midnight has arrived. Every clue is washed clean by the gray rain again. The altar and the blood on the ground all vanish. Fortunately, a team member rushes over to report. "We collected a few drops of blood." Ryan grits his teeth. "Report this to headquarters immediately. Notify everyone, all hands on deck tonight." Meanwhile, I finally make it back to the slaughterhouse. My injuries forced me to take over 2 hours just to walk back. The first thing I do is offer the Windrunner boots to the Crimson Throne. A brand new bottle of source blood appears. Grade, uncommon. Once absorbed, significantly increases overall vitality. Permanent enhancement. Seeing the words significantly increases vitality, I get a little excited and down it in one go. Shakes violently. A surge of power rampages through me. My bones and wounds regenerate at a furious pace. This uncommon source blood is the ultimate life-saving elixir. Moments later, my wounds start to scab over. I take out the dagger again. Tonight's battle has forged a bond between me and this weapon. Starting tomorrow, I have to keep slaughtering chickens. Every chicken I kill from now on will sharpen my striking technique, boost the dragon egg's progress, and improve the dagger's growth. A true 3-in-1 perfect cycle. The next morning I find that my wounds have nearly fully healed. I take out 5 fresh matches and offer them. After drinking down the 4 bottles of source blood, I call Boss Walker and tell him to bring me everything he has in stock. 1,200 chickens arrive shortly after. I pull out the soul dagger and begin training. After a full morning of processing, the soul dagger's growth reaches 197 points. The dragon egg gains another point as well, finally reaching 54% hatching progress. At that very moment, the egg finally stirs. A small crack splits the shell, and a fluffy tail pokes out, with a familiar heart-shaped tip. Did the devoured succubus not have a tail just like that? Well, well, well. Worthy of the dragon egg I raised with my own hands. You better hatch into a cute little dragon girl for me. Meanwhile, Scarlet and her group arrive at the abandoned storage yard. The woman following beside her is none other than Vivian. Thanks to her insane luck, Vivian has successfully become a core member of the underground organization, the Black Shadow. Suddenly, Vivian asks with some confusion, "In a place this remote, is the master you mentioned really here?" Scarlet turns and shoots her an icy glance. "Do not think your luck gives you the right to run your mouth. That man is incredibly strong. For trash like you, one finger is all he needs. If not for the informant saying red light appeared in this area last night, I would never dare risk coming back here." Not far away, on the rooftop of an unfinished building, a figure silently observes Scarlet's group. Reporting to the Bureau, suspicious target spotted at the abandoned storage yard in the western outskirts. Inside the Anomaly Affairs Bureau in Riverside City, Commander Ryan hears the report. A flicker of relief crosses his grim face. Finally, a lead. After acquiring both the mythic-grade dragon egg and the dagger, I finish processing 1,000 chickens in just one morning. The soul dagger and the dragon egg's progress have both surged. I am in a great mood, ready to head back into the city and find chances to make offerings. But just as I step into the bustling pedestrian street, a piercing, despairing scream tears through the air. A middle-aged man clutches an empty box, wailing, "My wife left me. My daughter does not even recognize me. What is the point of living anymore?" The security captain beside him looks annoyed. "You think this is a wishing well? When you were gambling like a degenerate, did you ever think about the consequences?" The crowd around the man is buzzing with chatter. From their words, I piece together what happened. The man sold his house, bought a jade pendant, all for this one offering today, and the altar gave him back a useless wooden stick. I turn my gaze to the altar that caused the tragedy. It has a strange shape and glows with gold light. No wonder it tempted the man to gamble everything here. I activate the Eye of Truth. Altar number 17626. Connected coordinate the goblin's abandoned vault. A goblin collector who has grown tired of gold and jewels longs to collect the most advanced technological creations in the world. Reading this, I cannot help but smirk. The jade thumb ring this man went bankrupt to buy was offered to a goblin obsessed with tech. This ending was written from the start. The security captain signals his men to drag the man away. Suddenly, an arrogant voice cuts through the crowd. "Hold on." A stunningly seductive figure walks over. none other than Vivian herself. She lifts her chin, basking in the greedy stares around her, then glances at the middle-aged man. If you die, you really lose everything. Want to get back what you have lost? Hope flares in the man's eyes. Yes, I want to. Whatever you want me to do, I will. If you want offerings every day to gamble with, then come with me. Vivian snaps her fingers. Several bodyguards behind her instantly hoist the man up. The crowd is stunned. Is this beauty here to do charity? Was it not always rich men keeping innocent girls? Why is this the reverse? Two thugs on the edge of the crowd hear the chatter and snort with laughter. You all do not get it. This is called farming. Plenty of people have no money for offerings, but others have all the money in the world, and only a limited number of daily offerings. That is where these farmed losers come in. Everything they get from offerings goes to the top. If they pull good items, they get fed feasts of land and sea, living the high life. If they fail to pull anything good, they get squeezed until completely useless, drained to the last drop, hence the name, human slot machines. I hear every word clearly from the side, but other people's fates are not my concern. Just as I turn to leave, a voice rings out behind me. Hey you, wait! I recognize Vivian's voice, but I do not respond. I keep walking. Stop! Are you deaf? I told you to stop! In an instant, several bodyguards in black rush over and surround me. I am forced to stop and slowly turn around. Vivian wears an expression of twisted satisfaction. Ever since she latched onto the Black Shadow, the biggest underground organization in the city, her streak of green lights has made her a star within the group, but I am like a thorn lodged in her heart. A loser like me had the audacity to block and delete her, and now I just walked right into her. She crosses her arms and looks down at me with a mocking smile. You blocked me, then could not stop yourself from coming to find me. Regretting it now? Too late though. The crowd erupts in laughter and murmurs. Where did this gigolo come from? Sounds like her ex. A toad lusting after a swan exactly like this, but my stomach is growling. I have zero patience for Vivian right now. Seeing my indifference, Vivian finally snaps. Still putting on an act? Suddenly she kicks off her right high heel and pulls off her black stocking right there in public. You wanted me to take pity on you, did you not? Get on your knees and kiss my toes and I will toss you 20,000 yuan as dog food money. She pulls a thick stack of bills out of her bag. The crowd erupts in jeers. This guy hit the jackpot. Lick it, lick it. Why does the goddess reward him? Can I take his place? The voices of troublemakers blend together and pull me out of my hunger-induced daze. What is this woman blabbering about? Is she not just delaying my trip to the open-air food stall? Seeing me unmoved, Vivian finally snaps. Get on your knees, now. But the moment she finishes speaking, a sharp smack rings out, loud enough to silence the noise around us. Vivian's pretty face whips backward. A red handprint blooms across her pale skin. Then I backhand her with such force that she crashes to the ground. Vivian clutches her face in disbelief. The bodyguards rush at me instantly, but after a few dull thuds, they go flying with screams of pain. I walk over to the trembling Vivian and shoot her a contemptuous look. You wish. Then I stride off without another glance. The crowd watches me leave in stunned silence. At that moment, a man in the crowd quickly pulls out his phone to report. Target Peacock has just had a violent confrontation on the pedestrian street. Ever since Scarlet and Vivian appeared at the abandoned storage yard, they had been on the Anomaly Affairs Bureau's radar. Peacock is Vivian's codename, and the undercover scouts monitor every move she makes. The man continues his report. The other party seems to be her ex-boyfriend, and he has serious combat skills. Took down those bodyguards like it was a game. Inside the Anomaly Affairs Bureau, Ryan hears the report and just says, got it. Minor scuffle. Log it. Keep observing. But Emily, who is studying files nearby, suddenly speaks up. Wait. She stares at the photo sent in by the informant. My figure in the picture is blurry, but something about it feels familiar to her. Ryan stops what he is doing instantly and looks over. Are you sure you have seen him before? But no matter how hard Emily tries to remember, nothing comes to mind. Maybe she has just been under too much pressure lately. Ryan's eyes flicker as he stares at the screen. Send 2 people to look into Vivian's ex-boyfriend. Run a check on him. Sending bodyguards flying like that means he has gotten some real solid power from the altars. Meanwhile, I head toward the familiar open-air food stall. The place is just as it always was, packed with people and full of life. I find an empty seat and order a few of my favorite dishes. Just then, a middle-aged man in his 40s walks toward me. He clutches a red bag, weaving between drinking tables. Soon he stops at the table next to mine, where a group of men are playing drinking games. Excuse me, gentlemen. I have an item here. Could you take a look? It is a blue-grade item I just pulled today. Blue-grade? The men freeze. The man pulls out a blue and white porcelain teacup from his bag. They take it curiously and inspect it one by one, even using a flashlight to examine it carefully, but they cannot figure out what the teacup actually does. The bearded man waves his hand impatiently. Just tell us what it does. How much do you want for it? The middle-aged man bites his lip and holds up 3 fingers. The function is not clear yet. The bearded man spits out his drink. 30,000? Have you lost your mind? 30,000 for a useless teacup with no known purpose? The middle-aged man tries to explain, but he is shouted down. I take in everything from my seat. Then the Eye of Truth activates instantly, landing on the unassuming teacup. Cup of stillness. Grade. Uncommon. Can hold the gray rain. Reading the description, I suck in a sharp breath. This is a divine artifact. The gray rain can wipe out every superhuman ability, but normally it cannot be stored. With this cup, all I have to do is splash the stored gray rain, and I can instantly cripple a top-tier ability user. I have to buy this. Right now. With that thought, I quickly call the middle-aged man over. He hurries over. Boss, want to take a look at my item? This really is a blue-grade item. The bearded man at the next table quickly warns me, young man, do not be a fool. This guy is obviously a con artist. A real blue-grade item costs way more than a few tens of thousands. I just smile, nod, and gesture for the man to sit down. Waiter, add 2 more chicken legs and a large beef chow mein. This guy is hungry. Extra meat, please. The middle-aged man cannot believe it. Not only does the boss not chase him away, he is even buying him food. This young man looks harmless enough, but is he secretly planning to harvest my kidneys? When the hot food arrives, the middle-aged man digs in greedily. After he finishes, I say, I will take the porcelain teacup. His name is David, a former senior investment analyst. His daughter fell seriously ill, draining every penny of his savings. With no other options, he was forced to sell the porcelain teacup. After we settle the deal, I take David with me to withdraw the cash. On the way, David clutches the porcelain cup, looking uneasy. Young man, do you really trust me? Hearing that, my footsteps slow. Uncle David, what I trust is not the cup. It is the spirit of a father willing to give everything for his daughter. The most precious thing in this world is not treasure. It is the light that still burns in your eyes. All this time, he has endured nothing but cold stares and mockery. My words are like warm sunlight to him. Young man, I will never forget your kindness. I swear, if I ever get the chance, I will repay you. I quickly withdraw the cash. When the heavy stack of 30,000 yuan lands in his hands, David finally breaks down. His hands shake. He tries to drop to his knees, but I catch him and pull him up. After exchanging contact info, he disappears into the crowd. Watching him go, I think of my Crimson Throne. It needs massive amounts of junk items to feed it, so it can keep producing source blood to strengthen me. I need someone to specifically buy up the junk items that everyone else looks down on. And the buyer cannot betray me, at least not in the short term. David will be useful from now on. I pull out my phone to check the time. 7:40 p.m., just over 4 hours until the gray rain. Time to start offering. But suddenly, a commotion erupts in the plaza ahead. What is happening to the moon? The bright, clear moon is being swallowed by a layer of crimson. In just a few seconds, the moon turns completely blood red. My heart jolts. Anyone who plays games knows what a blood moon means. Bad omens, curses, and catastrophe. What on earth is going on? Anxiety and dread spread through the crowd. Every face is bathed in an eerie crimson hue. I quickly pull up my phone and open the forum. It is flooded with speculation about the blood moon. We are doomed. I have a feeling something huge is going to happen tonight. Bold prediction. During the blood moon, the chance of pulling good items doubles. Gambler's charge. So what does the blood moon actually do? I look at an altar nearby. It looks like a rusted-out vending machine now growing eerie under the blood moon's influence. I activate the Eye of Truth. Altar number 20247. Connected coordinate the mechanical wasteland. A vending machine spirit wandering through the wasteland. It collects all kinds of currency. Blood moon effect. 10 offerings remaining. A gambler steps up and tosses his last coin into the altar. The coin vanishes instantly, and the remaining offering count drops by 1. But here is the strange part. The reward item gives off no light at all, and is wrapped in a layer of blood mist. No matter how close anyone stands, nobody can see what is inside. My pulse races. Under the blood moon, altars now have limited offering counts, and the offering process no longer reveals reward light. Only the offerer knows what they got. This is heaven sent for me. Even if I pull 3 red lights in the middle of the pedestrian street, everyone will just assume I got nothing good. I need to find altars fast. I quickly complete 2 offerings, but the results are disappointing. One only gives me a blue-grade longsword. It cuts steel like mud and is virtually indestructible, but I am the man who already owns a mythic-grade soul dagger. This longsword is just a snack for the Crimson Throne. The other altar gives me a purple-grade pauldron, the Beast Wrath Pauldrons. Once equipped, it grants an active skill that briefly unleashes berserker power, followed by a long period of weakness. Looks like converting it into source blood is its only fate. I wonder what epic grade source blood tastes like. Finally, at a street corner, I spot another altar. The Eye of Truth activates. Altar number 1050. Connected coordinate the lost sea of stars. An ancient stargazer lost at the edge of the cosmos. The light he spent his entire life chasing has gone out. He longs to see the light of hope just one more time. Remaining offerings 7. Reading the request. My first thought is the match of hope. But today's matches have all been offered to the Crimson Throne, and ordinary matches and lighters lack the meaning of hope. I dig through all my pockets and only find the receipt printed at the ATM earlier. For David, this slip of paper is his daughter's chance to live, a chance at hope. It is also proof of a young man extending a hand to a stranger. Is this not the eternal light of human kindness itself? With a willingness to try, I place the slip of paper at the center of the altar. A deeply comforted sigh echoes in my ears. Then, an unremarkable 5-pointed star appears on the altar. The Eye of Truth activates. Star of Hope. Grade. Legendary. One-time consumable. Activates automatically the moment the holder dies. Restores the holder's flesh and soul, reviving them at full state. My eyes go wide. Holy crap. A revive token. This is a true last resort lifesaver. This is so far beyond what logic can measure. I store the Star of Hope in the dimensional space and pick up the pace heading back. On the way home, I scroll through the forum and notice something off. A popular altar near us just shattered after repeated offerings. The post includes a blurry photo. What was once a fully intact altar is now nothing but broken stones on the ground. The comment section explodes. Holy crap, altars can break? Someone here did the math. It looks like 10 offerings will destroy them. Out with the old, in with the new. Destroy them all. Maybe better ones will come. Two sides argue back and forth, and the government remains silent. Looks like the higher-ups have also been caught off guard by this sudden turn of events. This proves the blood moon is no joke. Whether the breaking of altars is a blessing or a curse remains unknown. I need to convert my new gear into real solid power. On the way back, I noticed several altars with no offerings made yet, still at 10 remaining. The outskirts really do have fewer people. The moment I get back to the slaughterhouse, I offer the blue-grade longsword to the Crimson Throne. After downing the uncommon source blood, I take out the epic-grade pauldron. The Crimson Throne actually trembles. A bottle of purple source blood appears. Source blood, grade, epic. Once absorbed, dramatically increases overall vitality. I tilt my head back and chug it down. Epic source blood is nothing short of a nuclear blast. Terrifying energy detonates inside my body, and my muscles surge and reform with terrifying intensity. So this is what an epic-grade source blood feels like. I feel like I could punch through the basement wall right now. I check my phone. 11:59 p.m. I open a live stream to see if anything changes after midnight. In the live stream, a man is standing in front of a food-themed altar made of various materials. I thought this food altar would drop me some crayfish or something, but ever since the blood moon arrived, the only difference is that the altar did not disappear. He pulls out his offering, ready to make the sacrifice. But the altar suddenly starts shaking violently. A massive, tentacled creature crawls out of it. A gaping, bloody maw fills the entire screen. Then the live stream cuts to black. Horrifying chewing sounds pour out from the audio. The live chat explodes. What just happened? A giant tentacle monster came out of the altar. Poor streamer never got his crayfish, he got eaten instead. Something is wrong, why is there a monster outside my building too? And there are more than one. Where are the authorities? Send help. Moments later, a blood-red alert flashes across every screen. Dragon Nation official emergency notice. During the blood moon, altars are mutating. All citizens do not go outside. Stay cautious. Powerful sacrificers may participate in the disaster response, provided your personal safety is ensured. After reading this, I finally understand. The blood moon is a key. Every altar that fails to receive 10 offerings before the next day gets its door unlocked by this key. But what comes out is not hope or gods. It is the calamity tied to the altar's coordinate. After feeling out the Star of Hope and the pocket watch of fate, my confidence skyrockets. And the dragon egg is close to hatching. These calamities are its food. I decide to go out and start hunting immediately. I step outside, ready to slaughter calamities. I quickly spot an altar nearby, with a woman in a blood-red cloak standing beside it. The Eye of Truth activates. The Witch, grade common. Just as I thought, the first Blood Moon's monsters are all low grade. I sneer and creep up behind her. The soul dagger flashes cold, and I successfully pierce her heart from behind. A piercing scream tears through the night. The witch dissolves into a pool of black blood. At the same moment, the altar beside her bursts apart. Among the rubble, a small glowing object appears. Altar fragment. Used to maintain the normal operation of altars. I have no idea what it does, so I just toss the fragment into the dimensional vault and pull out the dragon egg. The egg quickly drains every drop of the witch's blood. The hatching progress climbs from 54% to 55.8%. The lingering black mist also gets absorbed by the soul dagger right then. Its growth progress reaches 214. Way better than slaughtering chickens. This blood moon is basically a high-level XP grind. I am grinding all night. After searching a bit, I lock onto my second target. Giant trash beast, grade common. One punch ends the fight. I pick up another altar fragment. The more I kill, the more excited I get. For the weak, the blood moon is a disaster. But for me, the opposite. These calamities and shattered altars are once-in-a-lifetime resources. Suddenly, my brow lifts. Up ahead, a creature covered in bone spikes is excitedly gnawing on an altar. The Bone Demon. Grade. Elite. Finally, something different. Elite grade means green grade rewards. I decide to one-shot it. I launch a flying kick at the Bone Demon. But it suddenly turns, and red light flares across its body. My kick only pushes it back 2 or 3 meters. No real damage at all. So elite calamities have more than just better stats. They have mechanics. I charge in again. Meanwhile, inside an abandoned factory, a brother and sister huddle behind a shipping container, trembling. They are trapped here by a mutated monster. The creature is staggering toward them. The brother grips an iron rod tightly, but the next instant, the monster teleports right in front of them. Without a moment's hesitation, the boy shoves his sister aside and lunges at the monster. The creature raises a massive bone blade. His sister watches in horror as her brother's body is sliced in two. Elsewhere, on a snowy mountain, countless soldiers are fighting back against a monster. Their bullets only spark off its hide. The platoon leader roars, "Even if we cannot beat it, we have to fight. If this thing reaches the foot of the mountain, the villages below are all finished." On a Gobi wasteland somewhere else, a 5-person squad is covered in wounds, but their faces glow with excitement. They just defeated an elite calamity. The squad captain picks up 3 altar fragments. Headquarters wants to study what these things do. They even ordered us to buy them at a high price. Tonight we need to push harder. The red-haired woman beside him sneers. A squad as strong as ours took all night to get 5 fragments. Even the government elites cannot do better than us. Headquarters does not actually think these fragments are easy to get, do they? Meanwhile, on the other side, I wipe the sweat off my forehead and grumble that I just wasted my time. The bone demon has been smashed to pieces, but it did not bleed a single drop. Useless for raising the dragon egg's hatching progress. What a rip-off. After picking up 3 altar fragments, I melt back into the night. If I push harder, maybe my little dragon girl will hatch tonight. By the time I have completely cleared this entire area, the dragon egg is almost ready to hatch, but there is not a single monster left in this zone. I replay the night in my head. Common calamities get crushed in front of me. Only elites with mechanics can put up even slight resistance. One iron giant could actually shrug off the soul dagger, immune to all slashing and piercing damage, but once I figured it out, I just laughed and reduced it to scrap with my fists. There was also an elite nightmare. Its mechanic was creating illusions. I appeared inside a love hotel, and the moment I opened the door, I saw Vivian and her rich boy boyfriend in the middle of a heated scene. It did not faze me at all. Sent them off as lovers in the underworld. The nightmare lost its powers, and I crushed it with one hand. Suddenly I sense something. I look up at the sky. The red on the moon is fading fast. I check my phone. 4 a.m., so the blood moon ends at 4? I check the progress on the dragon egg and the soul dagger. The dragon egg's hatching progress is at 82.8%, and the soul dagger's growth has reached 647. So far, the soul dagger has not shown any of the swagger of a mythic-grade item. Once its growth maxes out, it should evolve. I count the 31 fragments in my space and nod with satisfaction. Time to go home and sleep. When I am back at the slaughterhouse as usual, I trade matches for source blood and crash on my bed. But I have a deeply strange dream. I am a massive ant racing down a tunnel with a huge flesh grinder right behind me. If I stop, I get pulled in. Up ahead lies a pile of crushed corpses left by the grinder. A chill runs through my entire body. Suddenly a cold, eerie voice speaks. Only by eating them can you survive. I jolt awake. That nightmare was absolutely ridiculous, but the hunger in that dream felt completely real. I cannot figure it out. After calming down for a while, I pick up my phone. Out of habit, I open the forum. My face changes instantly. The screen is flooded with blood-red posts, even hotter than last night's blood moon event. One night of blood moon, countless dead and wounded. Please help, my neighbor died, my wife is crying her heart out. How do I comfort her? I get PTSD just looking at an altar now. Once bitten, twice shy. Wails, curses, and dark jokes flood every section. But what truly stuns me is the bright red pinned announcement. Dragon Nation official notice. Number 1. To respond to the changing situation, the official forum is now live. All citizens are required to register. Number 2. The government is now recruiting the Dragon Guard. Any citizen who is willing and capable may apply through the corresponding section of the forum. A representative will contact you. Number 3. Effective immediately, the government will purchase altar fragments without limit, at 20,000 yuan per piece. This is truly explosive news. My brow lifts. The Dragon Guard, huh? Interesting. They want to gather the scattered civilian power and bring it under their control. But the hottest topic on the forum is still the altar fragments. Everyone is speculating about what the fragments actually do because the government is paying a serious price. Most people have no way to obtain them. I think about the 31 fragments sitting in my dimensional space. They are now worth 620,000 yuan. In my old life, even 10 years of work might not have saved up this much. But until I understand what the fragments actually do, I am not selling any of them. Suddenly my phone buzzes. David is calling. Boss Ethan, thank you for your help. My daughter's medicine is sorted out. But I wanted to ask you about one more thing. Hearing his grateful tone, my mind stirs. My wife and I made offerings again today. We pulled a white-grade light bulb and a white-grade axe. We know they are useless, but we really need the money. So I wanted to ask if you still want them. Whatever you can offer is fine. His voice grows quieter and quieter, as if he knows he is asking too much. But I hear something else in his words. The government and other organizations have no interest in trash-tier items. Only my Crimson Throne can repurpose them. A bold plan starts forming in my mind. I speak up directly. I will buy them. We can meet tonight. After hanging up, I start thinking. Just scavenging trash myself is too slow. But if I become a hidden boss and build a massive trash recycling network, now is the perfect timing. The only question is whether Uncle David can pass the test. I dial Boss Walker. Boss Walker, come pick up yesterday's processed chickens and bring me another 800 birds. Boss Walker happily agrees. Soon a truck full of chickens arrives. I become the chicken's worst nightmare, slicing through pile after pile of hens. By 4:30 in the afternoon, I wipe the sweat off my forehead. The dragon egg's progress has hit 85%, and the soul dagger's growth is at 720 points. The future looks bright. At 5:30, I arrive at the old residential complex and call David. He leads me up to his apartment. The building is dim and damp, but the inside is spotless. Several childish drawings are pinned to the wall, clearly his daughter's work. My heart sinks a little. The scene strikes a chord in me. Uncle David, are you the only one home right now? David's eyes dim. My wife and daughter are still at the hospital. We usually stay there with them. I only came back today to sell the items for some money. He pulls out 2 objects. I quietly activate the Eye of Truth, a glowing light bulb and a rusty iron axe, both common grade white items. Beyond feeding them to the Crimson Throne, they are completely worthless. David's face shows some hope. He carefully tries, how about 500? Or 500 for both. After saying the number, David tenses up. Terrified, I will think it is too expensive and walk away. Hearing the price, I feel a small jolt inside. 500 for a white grade item is basically a steal. This price would be snapped up instantly. I do not rush to agree. Instead, I ask, do you know a lot of people? David smiles bitterly. My old friends all avoid me now. The only people I deal with these days are other patients' families. I see an opening. I pull out an altar fragment and ask if he recognizes it. David's pupils dilate. I saw this on the forum. If you kill a monster during the blood moon, the altar drops one of these. The government is publicly buying them at 20,000 yuan. David takes a deep breath, trying to compose himself. Boss Ethan, are you asking me to sell it for you? I see the admiration in his eyes. I pat David's shoulder and lay out the deal directly. I am giving you this altar fragment. You sell it. I only want 20,000. The rest of the markup is yours. David's head snaps up. He thinks he misheard, but his expression quickly shifts from ecstasy to confusion. The money you make, you do not need to hand it to me directly. I want you to go to those patients' families and buy more items like these for me. I do not care what price you pay. I will pay you 500 yuan per item. Not 500 for 2, 500 for each one. Hearing this, David's pupils contract, his mind races. His instinct as a financial analyst lets him calculate the profit instantly. This is a literal money printer for trash. As long as he pays less than 500 per item, he profits steadily. But quickly he senses something is off. There is no such thing as a free lunch. What is this young man really after? David's voice goes hoarse. You must have your reasons for doing this. Dealing with smart people saves so much time. Uncle David, I am giving you an opportunity. My conditions are simple. First, no matter what price you sell the fragments at or buy items at, I am never to be mentioned. From start to finish, I do not exist. You are building your own trading circle. Do you understand what I mean? David's heart sinks. This is the highest level of confidentiality. Boss Ethan wants to stay completely hidden. In other words, the secrets boss Ethan holds are big enough to get someone killed, and David is the front man pushed to the front, or in other words, the firewall. High rewards come with high risks. I lock eyes with David. Second, if you take in any counterfeit goods, the consequences are entirely yours. So Uncle David, choose your partners carefully. What I want is stability, a constant flow. Of course, you can also choose to walk away. I will pay 1,000 yuan for these 2 items, and our relationship ends right there. The choice is yours. The room fills with nothing but David's heavy breathing. The pressure from this young man is overwhelming. Choosing the first path is walking the tightrope. Choosing the second is temporary. Safety. But he truly does not want to go back to that hopeless cycle of begging for a few hundred yuan in medical fees. Only by dancing over the abyss can his daughter see a chance, and it is his only path to turn his life around. David grits his teeth and nods. I will do it. Boss Ethan, do not worry. I, David, may be down on my luck, but I used to manage over 100 people at my old firm. I have seen all kinds of crooks and weirdos. I know how to handle this, as long as you give me this chance. I pocket the 2 white-grade items with satisfaction, but I do not use the dimensional vault. You can never let your guard down. I hand over the altar fragment, tell him to contact me once things are in motion, and leave the apartment. The moment I step out of the complex, a strange feeling washes over me. A pair of unseen eyes is watching me from the shadows. My body has been refined again and again by source blood, sharpening all 5 senses to an extreme. Combined with the mystical sensitivity of the pocket watch of fate, this is no false alarm. I stop at a supermarket, buy a few supplies, and walk out into the wilderness carrying bags of stuff on purpose. When I reach a deserted area, I stop and speak calmly. Tired of following me yet? Several figures slowly emerge from the shadows. Over a dozen burly men with blades close in around me. A sharp screech of brakes pierces the night. A black sedan rolls into view. A foot in red high heels steps out first. It's Vivian. She is wearing heavy makeup today, but it cannot fully hide the swelling on her face. I slapped her too hard yesterday. Vivian's voice drips with venom. Bet you did not see this coming. We meet again so soon. Yesterday on the pedestrian street, you were so high and mighty, were you not? I look bored. The eye of truth scans them casually. Every item on every man in front of me becomes crystal clear. All worthless trash, a pile of white-grade junk, and they think they can mess with me? The strongest among them is the scarred man at the front, wearing green-grade strength bracers. Something is better than nothing. Seeing my dismissive gaze, the scarred man roars in fury. His blade slashes down with green light. Seeing me not even flinch, his contempt deepens. This idiot actually thinks he can take my blade head-on? With this strike, forget a person, even a bull would be cleaved in two. But the next second, the savage grin on his face freezes solid. I do not even blink. 2 fingers casually pinch the sharp blade in place. The entire scene goes dead silent. Before he can even react, the scarred man flies backward like a kickball. His ribcage shatters. Killed instantly. The dozen-plus thugs who were vicious a second ago all freeze. One punch. The blonde punk closest to me reacts first. Terror sends him scrambling for his life, but a calm voice whispers in his ear. Running? An afterimage flashes through his vision. The blonde punk's body jerks rigid. He mechanically lowers his head. A bloody hole has appeared in his chest out of nowhere. Black mist swirls around the soul dagger in my hand. Its growth progress jumps to 721. The remaining men see this and bolt in terror. Their last sliver of hope evaporates. This is not a fight. This is a slaughter. I am the Reaper, weaving through the moonlight, mowing them down like wheat. The last survivor crumples to the ground, wets himself, and begs for his life. I coldly demand the location of the organization's hideout. So Vivian climbed her way up and is now being valued by the big shot Miss Scarlet. The organization's intelligence network is so well developed that they tracked me down this fast. He spills everything. I finish him off with a soul dagger. No loose ends. Only one person is left alive. Vivian has been standing there frozen the whole time, watching the organization members she thought were so powerful get cut down like wheat, row after row. Her mind has completely shut down. Everything in front of her is beyond comprehension. This is Ethan, the same one she kicked aside, the pathetic loser who was supposed to scrape the bottom forever, with no chance of ever rising up. I step toward her, one slow step at a time. Vivian finally snaps awake and lets out a piercing, distorted scream. She crawls backward on all fours, like an ugly maggot scrambling away as fast as she can. Ethan, please, I was wrong. I really was wrong. We used to be so close. Please, for old time's sake, just spare me this once. If you let me go, I will do anything you want. I can give you money items. I can pull green light every day. I can be your girlfriend again. I will listen to everything you say. She begs incoherently. A complete mess. I stop right in front of Vivian, my eyes utterly cold. Vivian, do you remember what you did to me yesterday on the pedestrian street? Vivian's body jerks. Of course she remembers. I extend my foot, motioning her to come closer. Vivian shudders. It is humiliating, but compared to dying, it is nothing. And just as she inches closer, 2 sharp cracks of breaking bone explode through the night air. I stomp on her arms and snap them both. Then I stare into her eyes. You may be willing, but I find you filthy. The soul dagger lunges forward. A bad feeling washes over me. Blood mist erupts, and Vivian's body simply vanishes. Another blood escape. The second time. Just as I am about to deliver the killing blow, she escapes right in front of me again. Anger surges in my chest. I recall the last survivor's words, what he revealed during his desperate pleas. There is a Miss Scarlet in the organization, recently injured, who values Vivian highly. Their blood escape techniques are identical. So that is it. The tall woman from that night is Miss Scarlet, a high-ranking figure in the Black Shadow. This bizarre escape ability was most likely passed to Vivian by her. The Black Shadow, this growing underground force quietly spreading in the shadows. Before they grow into giants, I need to crush them all. First, I will use up today's 3 offerings, then pay a personal visit to this so-called hideout. I start gathering the loot. Just as my fingers are about to touch the items, a chilling sense of being watched slams into me. This is nothing like the clumsy tracker from earlier. Whoever this is, they are calm and incredibly stealthy. A top-tier expert. I curse internally as killing intent surges. I shatter the ground beneath my feet and shoot forward, leaving after images in the air. I burst toward the source of the gaze. In just a few breaths, I reach the corner, but the spot is empty. Only a few faint footprints remain. Someone was here, and they got away. Their retreat was decisive, their reflexes terrifying. Combat instincts like that almost certainly do not belong to the Black Shadow. Vivian does not have access to anyone this strong. Most likely this is a government elite. Only the authorities have the resources to cultivate someone at this level. Being on the radar of a low-tier organization like the Black Shadow does not really concern me, but being targeted by the government is a completely different matter. Being watched by a state apparatus is dangerous. No matter how confident or full of myself I get, I am not arrogant enough to think I can stand against the government. It all depends on how they classify me. A rogue who kills indiscriminately and needs to be eliminated, or a civilian-level powerhouse worth recruiting and using. I let out a soft chuckle and continue collecting the loot. 2 kilometers away, the scout agent Panther leans against a cold wall, drops of sweat falling. This sweat is not from running, it is from fear. That ghost-like speed, that explosive raw power, and those cold, emotionless eyes. How did he detect me? No target has ever spotted me before. Inside the Anomaly Affairs Bureau, he is the top tracking and counter-tracking expert. No, he has to report this immediately. This is Panther, requesting immediate extraction. The target spotted me. He almost caught me. What? Commander Ryan and every staff member listen in stunned silence. The Bureau goes dead quiet. Even Panther, normally cold and composed, lost his cool over a single target. I only got 1 photo. I am sending it back. Take a look. Ryan and the others immediately view the photo on the big screen. This time the angle is clear. Not just a side profile. Emily stares hard at the screen, her pupils contracting. I remember now. The abnormal energy fluctuation I sensed at the wet market that day was him. I thought it was just my imagination. Leftover energy from the wrathful monk. Ryan's face turns grim to the extreme. So he was already watching us back then? Suddenly, a quiet voice speaks up. Everyone turns. A female agent points at the screen with a strange expression. Could he be the one behind the gold light and red light incidents? The command center fills with sharp intakes of breath. Several senior analysts shake their heads, their faces full of disbelief. It is absurd. He looks far too young with no apparent background. Ryan rubs his head. He has a splitting headache. While everyone debates, a grim-faced investigator strides in. Commander Ryan, Professor Carter, we have completed his full background check. Ryan takes a deep breath and flips open the first page of the file. The first page shows my standard ID photo. The young man in the picture has clean eyes, even a hint of a sunny smile at the corner of his mouth. His personal record is similarly plain, almost too simple, with no criminal record or violent tendencies. Until Ryan flips to the very last page. Family relations. Pupils across the command center contract sharply. Father, John. Status, deceased. Mother, Linda. Status, deceased. Date of death, June 7th. Cause, car accident. The investigator submitting the report adjusts his glasses, his expression heavy. Commander, I dug through the case files from that accident. Suspiciously convenient. Several leads appear to have been forcibly buried. The surveillance broke down 1 day in advance. The driver's cause of death does not match the report. A staff member who insisted on pursuing the case ended up dead a month later. His entire family killed in a gas poisoning accident. Ryan takes a hard drag from his cigarette. Ethan's father was a veteran scout. During an undisclosed overseas conflict, he sustained critical injuries to save his entire squad and brought back vital intelligence, honorably discharged. The investigator continues. His mother, Linda, was one of the country's top cardiac surgeons. She participated in multiple humanitarian missions, even risking her life to save a key figure from an allied nation. A steel-souled soldier and a healer with a heart of gold. A heroic couple like this, their deaths should have made waves. Ethan, as their orphan son, should have received top-tier compensation and protection. But in reality, the entire matter was buried. He did not receive a single yuan of compensation. Forgotten by the world. Emily shudders at this. Why did he not report it? Why did he not seek help? The command center falls into deathly silence. Only Ryan, his eyes complicated through the smoke, speaks. Emily, think about it. A college student in his 20s, his parents suddenly killed. Every witness either dead or injured. Would he dare to make noise? Maybe this kid figured it out from the start. If he made noise, by the next day he would be the next victim of an accident. Only by living like a real orphan, head down, tail tucked, did he stay alive long enough to make it here. Professor Carter beside him adjusts his glasses and turns away. This water runs unfathomably deep. Ryan suddenly stands up. Liam, I need you to dig into that case from the side. For now, put all action plans regarding Ethan on hold. Until we know the truth, we make no judgments. He is not an enemy, at least not yet. Ryan picks up my file. Tonight's meeting is strictly classified. We cannot let Ethan's parents bleed, and then let their child keep shedding tears. Meanwhile, I've already completed 2 offerings. Both are epic grade items, only suitable as feed for the Crimson Throne. I keep searching and finally stop in front of a foul-smelling abandoned building. A crooked sign hangs above it. Pet market. I instinctively cover my nose, but the eye of truth picks up a faint energy fluctuation. Going by past experience, I push open the rusted iron door without hesitation. The air inside reeks of decay. Countless iron cages are piled in the corners. Suddenly, I freeze. An altar unlike anything I have seen before stands in front of me. It looks similar to the Crimson Throne. Over 2 meters across, a massive flesh cocoon radiating an ominous aura. Shadows of worms are devouring and tearing at each other inside, as if forging the ultimate king who would finally emerge from the cocoon. This thing is actually an altar? I do not dare get close. From a distance, I activate the Eye of Truth. After several long seconds, text finally appears. Altar number 1748. Connected coordinate. The ancient nest of eons. The shadow must follow the form. The heart must be unified. But invisible chains, how can they forge a mortal vessel? I seek a single empty paper to shape an unwavering heart. I stare at this cryptic riddle. My scalp tingles. So it is the legendary worm sorcery, and it is throwing word games at me too. I read it over and over but cannot figure out what it actually wants. I give up trying to think it through. I pull out my phone and start searching. After reading the results, things start to clear up. The shadow must follow the form, means the shadow must always follow the body. The heart must be unified, means thought and will must be one. In other words, following and loyalty. So the first keyword is loyalty, the second line. But invisible chains, how can they forge a mortal vessel? It is asking how to take invisible, intangible spiritual loyalty and lock it down with a tangible contract. Is this not just turning spirit into matter? Anyone who has had a girlfriend knows this. Buy the bag or else. Same logic. I smirk and continue with the third line. I seek a single empty paper to shape an unwavering heart. This line is the most contradictory and the most central. A piece of paper with no binding force. How can it shape unbreakable loyalty? The corner of my mouth twitches. Has anyone ever evolved from a corporate slave into a brainwashed slave? Even if I understand the literal meaning, I still have no idea what to offer the altar. A slavery contract? An employment contract? None of those seem right. Contracts can be torn up the moment the price is right. A slavery contract is just absolute force, not loyalty from the heart. And I cannot afford to guess wrong. Otherwise, a black light calamity made up of all these GU worms. Just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. My thoughts hit a dead end. After an hour of getting nowhere, I slam my fist into the wall in frustration. Too much force, and a photo album spills out of my backpack. The first page shows my father standing tall in his uniform. I remember him stroking my head with affection. Listen, kid, our family men, no matter where we go, we never bow our spines. A jolt runs through my body. The cultural foundation of the Dragon Nation, thousands of years of tradition, rests on bloodline and clan. No matter where a person stands, no matter how high they climb, they cannot abandon their surname or the blood flowing in their veins. This is their root. And the family registry, the ancestral hall holding the tablets, are these not the truest empty paper and the truest mortal vessel? A family registry is, at its core, just paper with writing on it. An ancestral tablet is just a piece of wood with carved characters. But to everyone, it is the sense of belonging carved into their bones. The confusion in my eyes vanishes. But cruel reality presses down on me. I have no family now, no family registry. My parents are dead, and my relatives avoid me like the plague. I am a complete and utter loner. This altar is a dead end for me. An impossible dead end. Moments later, a low laugh echoes through the silent pet market. The laugh grows louder. I throw my head up, fire blazing in my eyes. If I have no family, then I, Ethan, will establish my own bloodline starting today. From the moment my parents died, I knew there was a massive cover-up. I did not know who my enemy was, so I was trapped in hopeless speculation forever. But the altars descended, and I watched the monopolized rules begin to crumble. Now I am going to fight back. Now I am going to unleash slaughter. So I will lay down my own first ancestral tablet with my own hands. I scan the room and lock my eyes on a fallen shelf. I snap off the thickest pine plank. I bite open my fingertip and write a single word on the wood. Ethan. The plank trembles violently without warning. The energy of my source, blood-enhanced blood, is immense. I can clearly feel a connection forming between me and the tablet. I carry the tablet to the flesh cocoon and press it firmly against the cocoon's surface. Everything around me goes utterly silent. My heart pounds. The next second, drums echo from every direction. I feel transported back to an ancient primal forest where ancient tribes worship in reverence. They offer beautiful women and countless colorful venomous snakes for support. Followers of different schools all display their devotion. Suddenly, a voice rings out. Look, this is what goose sorcery is. It is following the rules. It is willing sacrifice. You, a rootless mortal, dare to speak of founding your own school? Chaotic willpower slams into my mind. The vision in front of me starts flashing wildly. I can faintly see the G-worms in the cocoon starting to crawl up my arm. I want to leave, but I cannot move at all. The soul dagger in my pocket pulses with black mist. My eyes flare red and my entire body roars with vitality. Your traditions are nothing but echoes of a dead era. I am the beacon of a new age. I am the rule. The illusion shatters in an instant. My entire body is drenched in cold sweat. The GU worms about to burst from the cocoon all freeze. They speed up, biting and devouring each other in a frenzy, until finally every sound dies, leaving only a single massive jet-black beetle. This is mine. My voice trembles with excitement. The aura on this thing has to be at least legendary, but my eye twitches violently. The membrane around the Worm King suddenly tightens, crushing the sole surviving Worm King into pulp right in front of me. I crack. Are you kidding me? I bet everything to endure the mental assault and you do not even leave me one worm? Then something strange happens again. The collapsed flesh cocoon erupts with a pillar of red light. The terrifying energy wave shakes me off balance. Was there an even greater being behind that beetle? The red light slowly fades. The flesh cocoon altar still stands, but it is now empty inside. Only a dark green-black shell floats above the altar. I immediately activate the Eye of Truth. A line of green text appears. Heart of the ancient nest, grade, mythic, absorbs ambient energy on its own. Every 15 days, it produces a brand new GU worm. Function 2, can store and fuse all types of GU worms. Holy crap. Another mythic-grade item, and a perpetual motion machine at that. The output interval is longer, but GU worms are never weak, and Function 2 even allows fusion of these worms, meaning if I cross an Echo worm with a 7 Calamity worm, I get an absolute masterpiece. Suddenly I noticed something beside the heart of the ancient nest. 2 GU worms float there, one large and one small, both blood red. The larger one is the size of a fingernail, lying still. The smaller one circles around it like a tiny red mole. The Eye of Truth activates. Bloodline Loyalty Worm. Grade. Legendary. The mother worm can be merged into the user's own body. The child worm can be merged into a target's soul. The child worm's host will remain absolutely loyal to the mother worm's host. The moment the child worm's host harbors any thought of betrayal, the mother worm can destroy the child worm's host instantly. I suck in a sharp breath. This thing's function is insane. Once planted, the target becomes my loyal puppet, their life and death entirely in my hands. The first person who pops into my head is David. But on second thought, this is a legendary grade item. Wasting it on an ordinary person is a shame. Good steel goes on the blade's edge. I pack everything up and prepare to head back to plan out the next few days. Cut to the other side. Inside the inner chamber of a mansion, Lady Scarlet is treating her injuries. The hidden wounds from her earlier encounter with me are torturing her. At that moment, the door bursts open. Vivian stumbles in, covered in blood, both arms broken, looking like a drowned dog dragged out of a mud pit. Scarlet's eyes are full of disgust. Trash, how did you end up like this? Vivian immediately starts sobbing. I was ambushed by my loser ex. I do not know what dark sorcery he learned, but he killed every bodyguard protecting me. He has zero respect for our Black Shadow. He even forced our branch hideout's location out of one of them. Scarlet is dumbfounded. You got your whole squad solo wiped by your loser ex, and you still have the nerve to cry? But she has no time for this nonsense. Since the ex knows the hideout's location, just in case, Scarlet directly dials her subordinate Hawk. Maximum security at the hideout. Double the manpower. Lock the place down like a fortress. Remember, nothing must interfere with my plan. She hangs up, wincing in pain, her thoughts drifting again to that terrifying man. By the early hours of the morning, the gray rain falls right on schedule. I stand under the eaves with a cup of stillness in hand. This cup is genuinely useful. No wonder so many people love cups. From now on, anyone trying to mutate one splash and I confiscate their weapon of choice. Back in my bedroom, I start counting my assets. Mythic grade items, the Abyssal Dragon Egg, the Soul Dagger, and the Heart of the Ancient Nest. Legendary grade, the Dimensional Vault, the Pocket Watch of Fate, and the Star of Hope. Plus the newly acquired Loyalty Worm. The luxury of this loadout could start a war if word got out. On top of that, I'm holding several bottles of source blood that can save a life or level me up. This is my foundation for surviving in this chaotic world. After all, the government has very likely noticed me, and with the Black Shadow organization that will not stop haunting me, a major battle is coming. I need to have everything in order. Just then my phone buzzes. David is calling, his voice full of excitement. Boss Ethan, I sold the altar fragment you gave me for 26,000 yuan, 30% above the government's price, and the buyer is no ordinary person. They claim to be from the Black Shadow. They even sent me an invitation to join the organization. They mentioned internal benefits and some kind of protection. Hearing the words, Black Shadow, my hand pauses on the desk. Enemies always cross paths. I was just looking for a chance to uproot them entirely, and now they walk right to my door. A cold smile curves on my lips. I tell David directly, Uncle David, accept their offer. Join the Black Shadow. David on the other end goes blank. Sure he misheard. My tone turns cold. I speak bluntly. I have a blood feud with the Black Shadow. I'm sending you in as a mole. This is a near-suicide mission for David. Even in other words, I am sending him into hell. He falls silent, but he is smart, and even more he is a desperate father. To save his daughter, even hell, even mountains of knives and seas of fire, he will charge through. David grits his teeth and agrees. If you can save my daughter, my life belongs to you. I smile. I do not promise him empty hopes. Instead, I directly ask about his daughter's condition. Hearing it is acute leukemia. I look at the dark red source blood in my hand. A wild idea crosses my mind. If this stuff can cleanse the marrow and reshape flesh, could it cure David's daughter's leukemia? If I'm going to win his loyalty, I might as well use a fate-defying move. I lay out the plan. Uncle David, tomorrow afternoon I will come to pick up the first batch of items. I will give you another altar fragment then. Use it to trade with the Black Shadow and accept their invitation while you are at it. Also, before I head to your place, I want to stop by the hospital and visit your daughter. After hanging up, I lie down to sleep, and I have an absolutely ridiculous dream. In the dream, I am being chased by a vampire in a tailcoat. This vampire is impossibly elegant and noble. He quickly corners me. Just as I am about to fight for my life, he leans close to my ear and says with a wounded look, Bro, what kind of self-respecting vampire eats matches every day? I jolt awake and burst out laughing in disbelief. The freaking Crimson Throne is sending me dreams, complaining that the matches I feed it are too low grade. I storm down to the basement and unload on the beating heart. A son does not mind an ugly mother. A dog does not mind a poor home. You should be grateful you have anything to eat, and you are picky? But complaining aside, I realize something. This thing has consciousness. It must have evolved through devouring items. To soothe this fussy ancestor, I reluctantly toss in a few matches. Watching it consume them twice as fast as before, I am thrilled inside. From now on, I need to find better stuff to feed it. After soothing the throne, I look at the dragon egg in my hands. The hatching progress is stuck at 85%. I pull out a bottle of source blood, hoping to give it a snack. But the dragon egg has serious pride. Its tail flicks the bottle away in refusal, not even bothering to look at it. I am speechless. Well, this one just can't appreciate the good stuff. It looks like the only way to hatch it is the most primitive method. Kill monsters. If I keep slaughtering chickens every day, the soul dagger is going to start sending me dreams too. Time to switch it up. I dial Boss Walker and ask for 100 pigs. I am sick of killing chickens. I need a change of pace and some new practice. But the moment Boss Walker hears the word pig, his voice starts shaking with fear. Boss Ethan, you cannot touch pigs right now. Several big pig farms have had freaky stuff going down. My brow lifts. I tell him to explain. Boss Walker stutters out the story. Last night, I was on a video call with Mike. I saw the pigs go insane right in front of me. Their eyes were blood red, biting anyone they saw. They even tore Mike apart right there on the camera. The screen was nothing but black blood and screams. Scared the soul out of me. I have called him since no one picks up. And that place, Lee Family Hollow, it has to be a living hell right now. After hearing this, I actually smile. What a coincidence. I was just looking for a place to grind XP, and these mutated pigs are basically a buffet served straight to me. I ask him for the address right away. Seeing me so determined, Boss Walker has no choice but to give it to me. He even tries to give me his green great axe for self-defense. My heart warms. The axe is just scrap metal to me, but the gesture means a lot. I turn down the axe and say, stay safe at home. When I get back, let me buy you and your wife a drink. Cut to a new scene. I follow the GPS to Lee Family Hollow. The place is genuinely in the middle of nowhere. Not even a bird around. The air reeks of decay. A rusted mailbox stands in the middle of the road. I stop in my tracks. Why would a place this far out in nowhere even have a mailbox? The Eye of Truth activates. Altar number 52818. Connected coordinate, the mailbox of all realms. Addicted to secrets, obsessed with peeking and sharing everyone's gossip. Seeing the number, I almost lose it. 52818. In our language, that sounds exactly like, I love digging up dirt. This altar's asking for something is pretty shameless. Zero boundaries. But if I play it right, this thing might let me peek at some earth-shaking secrets. After a moment of hesitation, I decide to handle the main task first. I creep through the village to a crooked-necked locust tree. Several pig pens have walls already half collapsed. As I approach, horrifying chewing sounds drift out from inside. A creature inside, easily one size larger than a normal pig, stands with its back to me, frantically devouring something. The Eye of Truth activates. Plague boar. Grade. Calamity. A livestock animal completely corrupted by pollution. All sanity gone. Reduced to a creature that only knows killing and eating. I chew on the word pollution and start wondering where the source of this corruption is. But I waste no time. I sneak up behind it and bring my blade down. The massive pig head rolls clean off. The soul dagger's growth jumps by over 10 points instantly, way faster than chickens. But just then, the headless pig corpse explodes without warning. The massive blast alerts the entire pen. Dozens of plague boars burst through the fences and charge out, a pair of blood-red eyes locked on me. Anyone else seeing this would wet themselves, but in my eyes I am trembling with excitement. These are not monsters, these are walking XP packs. Looks like the soul dagger and my little dragon girl are about to feast tonight. The roars shake the air. The pig herd surges forward like a mudslide. I do not dodge. I charge straight at them. Blade flashes, pig heads fly. With every strike the soul dagger's progress bar surges. Explosions go off all around me. I move through the herd like a ruthless harvester, grinding monsters in a frenzy. Just as the soul dagger's progress maxes out, a wave of dread hits me. The pocket watch of fate's warning sends me leaping back. I notice something strange. The black blood from the explosions has not dispersed. It is being pulled toward the crooked-necked locust tree. My heart sinks. So this is the old dark under the lamp trick. The real boss is this tree. Once the locust tree drinks its fill of blood, it springs to life. Its withered branches twist and grow at frantic speed. Countless blood-red leaves appear out of thin air, forming a sky-blocking twisted canopy. Watching this, I cannot help but mutter, this is freaking wood-style, forest realm descent. On the trunk, masses of writhing flesh gather and form a massive single eye. The thing is alive. The Eye of Truth activates instantly. Lines of burning blood-red text flash before me. Altar number 5177. Connected coordinate, the cradle of rot. Feeding on the flesh and blood of all living things in a place of despair and silence, it nurtures the child of rot. The number has a 5 in it. What does that mean? No time to think it through. The pressure this tree gives off is stronger than the epic grade wraith from before. This thing is nurturing some child of rot. I have to take it out before it fully forms. I grip the freshly upgraded soul dagger, killing intent surging. Just as I am about to charge, a deafening boom erupts. I detonate the vitality at my feet and shoot backward like an arrow. Where I had been standing, countless crimson vines have burst through the ground. The blood-red canopy above shakes violently. Tens of thousands of leaves transform into a rain of blades screaming down toward me. The entire area has become this creature's absolute domain. I activate the Eye of Truth one more time. The one-eyed tree demon's information finally appears. Caretaker Locust, grade, epic calamity. a calamity born from a mutated altar, tasked with guarding the descent of the child of Rot. So altars with a 5 in the number are mutated altars. No time to dwell on it. The pocket watch of Fate's bullet time activates instantly. The razor-sharp leaf rain is already at my head. I dance through the storm of attacks weaving between the gaps in the vines and blades. But the creature's firepower is overwhelming. A leaf glowing with eerie red light slices my arm. The flesh around the wound starts blackening and rotting. My face goes pale. The source blood inside me surges, forcibly suppressing the spread of that toxic power. But that moment of distraction costs me. A massive vine slams into my back. The hit nearly shatters my bones. I cough up a mouthful of blood. The threat of death looms again. Epic calamities really are way too overpowered. Another giant vine sweeps in. I cannot dodge it. Suddenly, I remember the cup of stillness with the gray rain inside. I decide to throw a Hail Mary. I pull out the cup of stillness and hurl the contents at the vine. A miracle. The vine that could crush a tank turns into rotten wood the instant it touches the gray rain. It crumbles to ash. The caretaker locust's single massive eye blanks out. It clearly does not understand what just happened. While it stalls, I push off and charge again. The caretaker locust goes berserk. Countless blood-red vines burst from the earth. This is its true complete form. But there is no retreat for me. I sprinkle the gray rain to clear a path while pushing through the storm of leaves toward its body. The cost is brutal. Countless wounds open across my body. My consciousness starts fading, but I get closer to that single eye. 30 meters, 20 meters, 10 meters. Then, the cup of stillness runs dry. My heart drops. No more life-saving trick. The caretaker locust seizes the moment. The trunk splits open and launches a killing blow black vine, so fast it sends despair through me. Even the pocket watch of fate shows nothing but the blood red of death in its prediction. At the last possible second, I pull out a match of hope and light it in the deepest darkness. With a thunderous boom, the flame touches the vine and triggers a massive explosion. The killing strike is forcibly halted. Fire conquers wood. This is hope. I seize the moment. Man and blade is one. I turn into a streak of black light and drive the blade deep into that terrified single eye. Break! With a sharp crack, the eye shatters. The towering tree collapses in an instant, dissolving into a black pillar of light connecting earth and sky. In this moment, all of Riverside City can see this terrifying phenomenon. The shockwave throws me dozens of meters. I am covered in blood, a complete mess, but I am laughing wildly, because I won. I survived another epic calamity. I drag my battered body toward the center of the black light pillar. 2 items glowing faintly stand out. The first is a fist-sized black sphere. The Eye of Truth activates. Miniature altar heart of the caretaker locust. Grade, epic, can permanently fuse with any altar, transforming it. The core that may form when a mutated altar is destroyed. Both the echo of death and the embryo of new life. Consumable. Once a target altar is selected for fusion, forced removal will destroy this miniature altar heart. Holy crap, this is a great find. Perfect for feeding the Crimson Throne later. I turn my eyes to the second prize. Mark of Rot. Grade legendary. Your soul has been branded with a trace of rotten energy. You gain massive resistance to and affinity with all rot-related negative forces. Just resistance sounds a little weak on paper, but just as I am about to put the mark away, additional text appears that makes my scalp tingle. You have stirred a long-lost interest in the slumbering child of Rot. It looks forward to meeting you in person. I lose it, so I killed the small one, but the big one is alive and now has its eyes on me. Like a giant has marked me as an interesting little ant. I curse under my breath and quickly turn to bolt. The towering black pillar is way too conspicuous. But just 2 steps out, the mark of Rot inside my dimensional space stirs. A will that does not belong to this world descends, and an indelible mark sears into me. In the pitch-black storm, I faintly see a figure. The child of Rot. I clench my teeth and activate the Eye of Truth. Unprecedented pain stabs through my eyes. 2 streams of burning blood tears trail down from the corners of my eyes. Show me. Show me what the hell you are. Name unknown. Grade unknown. Description unknown. Seeing this, I cannot suppress the surge inside me. I spit out a mouthful of black blood. The target seems to exceed the Eye of Truth's current limits. I have a lot of cheats stacked. In today's world, I am undoubtedly a powerhouse. But in front of those things, I am still just an ant. I lift my head toward the sky again. The figure has vanished. Meanwhile, all of Riverside City is in chaos. The Anomaly Affairs Bureau raises a level 1 alert and names this towering blacklight event the Great Dark Sky. Scarlet also sees the phenomenon. She immediately gathers her elite forces and rushes to the scene. Every shady figure hiding in the shadows swarms toward Lee Family Hollow. Anyone with even a bit of power is heading there, hoping to grab a piece of the action. But I am the only one going the other way. I am heading to the gossip altar I found earlier and checking on the upgraded soul dagger along the way. Middle soul dagger, grade mythic, new ability, immune to all mechanics. My mechanics override yours. New ability, soul nourishment. After killing a target, drain its life essence to sustain the wielder through endless slaughter. New ability, Godslayer's Aura. Deals 1000% damage to mythic-grade units. Looking at these insane stats, I almost want to bow to the soul dagger. Bro, you are a beast. The soul dagger's upgraded stats are absolutely insane. Immune to all mechanics means no more hits that just scratch. Mechanic monsters, rule monsters, all of them get cleaved in 2 with 1 strike. Soul nourishment fills my biggest gap. As long as I keep killing, I am a perpetual motion machine. And Godslayer's Aura is the cherry on top. Given enough time, I would dare to kill a god. I make my way back to the mailbox of all realms. I dip my finger in blood and write several words on a piece of paper. I have seen a god. I will slay the god. I shove the note straight into the mailbox. The mailbox lets out a sly laugh. gold light shooting up to the heavens. Looks like this gossip is too juicy. The mailbox's slot spits out an antique-looking black envelope. I grab it and bolt. The commotion is way too loud. Back at the slaughterhouse, I first drink 2 bottles of source blood to heal my wounds, then open the strangely textured black envelope. The page starts off blank, then a line of golden text appears. I love your gossip very, very much. In exchange, I will tell you 2 secrets. First, the gray rain does not come from the sky. It is the tears of a hero. This makes me suck in a cold breath. The world-shattering gray rain is actually one person's tears? What kind of being is this? Then the second secret appears. Those artists are growing impatient. They are doing their final rehearsal. Especially him. He very much wants to meet you. My brow furrows. What a riddle master. Who are the artists? Who is he? I activate the Eye of Truth, trying to probe the hidden cause and truth behind these lines. Nothing comes through. The next second, the black envelope and letter dissolve into a handful of golden dust, vanishing into the air. The lead is gone. I slam my fist on the table in fury. This altar is unhinged. It just had to be a riddle master. If I cannot figure it out, I will not waste energy on it. Building strength is what matters now. I call Boss Walker and ask him to send over another 1,000 chickens. I throw in a little performance, pretending the giant black pillar scared me into running home. Boss Walker buys it instantly. As long as you are alive. Good thing you did not go. We do not go. We do not go. After hanging up, I head to the basement and pull out the Caretaker Locust's miniature altar heart. This is a gamble. If I win, the Crimson Throne evolves. If I lose, I wasted an epic grade item. I wave the miniature altar heart in front of the throne, warning it not to just snack on it, then place it on. With a hissing sound, blue smoke rises. The miniature altar heart suddenly opens its single eye and extends countless black roots, trying to force a parasitic takeover. This completely enrages the slumbering king. The Crimson Throne shakes violently. Countless blood-red tentacles burst forth and crush the invading roots without mercy. In just 1 minute, the fight is over. The black roots are completely devoured. Everything goes still. Just as I am about to complain that I broke it, I see a bright green branch sprout from the center of the throne, with the translucent green fruit hanging at its tip. The Eye of Truth reveals, the Crimson Throne has fused with the Caretaker Locust's heart. New special trait, source blood will be drawn into the heart blood tree and brewed within the heart blood fruit. Brewed? My heart races, but I have no spare items to test with. Then a thought strikes me. I pull a regular bottle of source blood from the vault. Who says I cannot offer source blood to make source blood? This is exploiting a bug. This is recursion with extra steps. The Crimson Throne seems speechless, but obediently swallows it. Moments later, the fruit blazes with light, and a brand new bottle of source blood drops down. The liquid inside is now a vibrant green, full of life force. The Eye of Truth identifies it. Source blood, heart blood refined, boosts overall vitality, and more importantly, the effect is gentle. It can repair the body, purify the bloodline, and expel negative energy. Looking at this upgraded source blood, my breathing quickens. The improved version has arrived. I lock my eyes on the words purify the bloodline. An image flashes in my mind. David's daughter, the one with leukemia. Before, my odds were under 10%. I worried her fragile body could not handle the violent energy. But now, with this gentle, refined version, her chances of survival jump to 90%. This is custom-made medicine for her. I know exactly what this means. Not just saving a life, but an investment with incalculable returns. If I save his daughter, David, with his financial mind and sharp intellect, becomes my most loyal right-hand man. This is locked in. Feeling great, I pull out my phone to scroll through the forum. One glance, and my face changes instantly. What the hell happened? I expected the Caretaker Locust kill to dominate the trending list. But when I open the forum, the posts about the Riverside City Black Light are there, but they are buried under even more terrifying news. A string of bold, blood-red headlines fills my screen. All paper figures in the town have come to life, beating gongs and drums in the streets, holding ghost weddings and funerals. Not for the faint of heart. High-res photos inside. Mahjong tiles clatter through the city at midnight, driving countless residents insane. Giant mutated sea creatures surface in the East Sea. Stones in the West River come to life, forming a beast army marching toward the cities. Plague abroad, volcanoes erupting. Clearly, every single one of these is the work of mutated altars I have not seen yet. The Caretaker Locust was not an isolated case. After the Blood Moon event, the world never returned to its old order. Mutated altars are spreading like wildfire, nurturing countless unknown horrors. This makes me realize I have to grow stronger faster. By 4 p.m., I have processed all 1,000 chickens. The Soul Dagger's 10,000 evolution points feel like a drop in the bucket. My little dragon girl's hatching progress hits 88.5%. Since my body is mostly recovered, I decide to go see David. This is the most critical step in my plan. When the call connects, David's voice sounds like the soul has been pulled out of him. He gives me a hospital address and hangs up. 40 minutes later, I see a David who has aged beyond recognition in the hospital hallway. He is on his knees, begging a doctor to save his daughter, even if it means going bankrupt to buy imported miracle drugs. The doctor sighs helplessly. The cancer cells are spreading too fast. Even a miracle could not save her. Hearing this, David and his wife completely break down. I walk over and pat his shoulder, then follow them into the hospital room. On the bed, a little girl named Stella has wasted away to bone. Seeing her parents come in, she still musters a brave little smile and even has the strength to call me uncle. That word twists something inside me. David drops to his knees beside the bed like a helpless child, holding his daughter's withered little hand, tears pouring down. Stella's eyes well up too. She reaches out her tiny skeletal hand and gently strokes David's tear-streaked cheek. Daddy, am I going to a far, far away place soon? It is okay. I read in a book that good children all become stars in the sky, I will become the brightest star up there, watching over Daddy and Mommy forever, so if you ever miss me, just look up at the night sky. Hearing this, even the doctor cannot help but turn his face away. I pull David out into the hallway and ask quietly, how bad is it really? David leans against the cold wall, his voice raw. The doctor said, at this rate, 2 weeks at most. Looking at this broken man, I say calmly, I have a way. Those 4 words bring light back to David's dead eyes. He drops to his knees in front of me. I bend down slowly, my dark eyes reflecting his broken form. My lips move quietly as I explain. My voice is soft, but David's pupils contract sharply. At first, David shakes his head furiously. It is too absurd and too dangerous. But the shaking slowly stops. The wild hope ignited inside him crushes every doubt. Bet. Why not bet? Back in the hospital room, David whispers the plan to his wife. Helen's face goes pale with shock. She stares at her husband in disbelief. Despite her fear, thinking of how little time her daughter has left, and seeing the wild hope in her husband's eyes, Helen chooses to believe. She turns to her daughter on the bed, voice trembling. Stella, this gentleman has a special medicine, but it might hurt a little, and it might hurt you. Are you scared? Stella, weak as she is, barely hesitates. She shakes her head gently. Stella is not afraid of pain, as long as I can stay with Daddy and Mommy, and if it does not work, please do not blame the gentleman. David spins his face away, refusing to let his daughter see his tears. I say nothing more, I just directly reach into my pocket and pull out a bottle of source blood glowing with faint green light. Helen takes it with trembling hands. The instant the cap comes off, an overwhelming life force fills the entire room. Even the exhaustion on the couple's faces eases. A miracle drug. This has to be a miracle drug. Helen's heart fills with hope. She carefully brings the bottle to her daughter's lips and feeds her every drop of the source blood. At first, nothing happens. But after a few seconds, the heart monitor goes off the charts. The doctor tries to rush in, but the door is locked. Just seconds later, a miracle. The chaotic vitals return to normal. Color blooms in Stella's pale cheeks. David's voice trembles, his pitch breaking. Stella, how do you feel? The little girl slowly opens her eyes. I feel good. Just a little. This makes our hearts clench again. Stella adds with a small smile. Just a little hungry. At those words, the weight on David and Helen's hearts finally lifts. Tears burst forth uncontrollably. There is hope. Their daughter has really been pulled back from the gates of death. One drop of divine blood, and even death walks around. At that moment, the hospital door is finally unlocked by Dr. Chen with a backup key. Just as he is about to lose his temper, he freezes on the spot. The little girl's complexion is visibly warmer, and the machines are reading normal values. Seeing this, his jaw nearly hits the floor. Seeing this, I turn around and speak calmly. Dr. Chen, no need to make a scene. I used an alter item on her. I do not want word of this getting out. It would only cause trouble. The doctor snaps out of his shock instantly. He hears the threat in my words and understands exactly what they mean. He just never imagined that in the alter era, someone would use such a priceless treasure to save one little girl's life. Anyone who can produce items like this and use them so freely must be terrifying behind the scenes. Crushing him would be easier than crushing an ant. Dr. Chen catches on instantly. I will go prepare for follow-up exams. Sir, please do not worry. My lips are sealed. Without lingering, he turns and leaves. Once Dr. Chen is gone, David and his wife are about to drop to their knees before me. I stop them and tell them to focus on their daughter. Uncle David, I will wait downstairs. On my way out, I suddenly turn back to the little girl. Oh, Stella, next time do not call me uncle. Makes me feel old. With a smile, I leave. I may have used David, but the rescue itself is genuine. Outside the hospital, my smile fades. I look up at the black pillar still standing on the horizon. By all logic, with the caretaker Locust dead, this phenomenon should have faded. So why is it still there? Is something else going on? I scroll through the forum, my heart tightening. I tap black light hard. Massive amounts of info flood the screen. Most of them are failed offerings, but I scroll fast, locking onto the posts that stand out. Towering black pillar lingering deep in the mountains of the town. Wanging city coordinates. The black light has torn a hole in the sky. Government has issued an emergency lockdown. As one of the original culprits, I know exactly what these black pillars mean. I am the first known person to take down a miniature mutated altar, but I am definitely not the only one. The world might have far more units capable of handling epic grade mutations than I imagined. Meanwhile, David walks out of the hospital. He moves through the crowd, his pace unhurried, but at every step rock steady. His back is no longer bent. Tear streaks still mark his face. His eyes still red and swollen, but in those eyes there is no trace of defeat. I sense him and turn to look. This man has walked out of his shadow, step by step, into a new life I gave him with my own hands. Finally, David stops in front of me. The noise around us fades into silence. He extends his hand. I smile and shake it. Everything is understood without words. A dozen minutes later, I am sitting on the worn-out couch in David's home, looking at the 17 white grade items David has collected. The eye of truth scans them. Every single one is real. Good work. This time, with David watching, I wave my arm lightly. The pile of items vanishes into thin air. A miracle. David's pupils contract. He is shaken. I take in his reaction. Uncle David's loyalty is locked in, but beyond gratitude, I need him to never see the bottom of my depths. He needs to know there is a future with me. Also, as the head of the recycling network, this trick is genuinely hard to hide. I take out another altar fragment and toss it to him. This one, like I said before, take it to the Black Shadow. Get on the inside. Stay careful. Sir, do not worry. From a financial standpoint, this is venture investment. You invested in me. I will not let you take a loss. I nod with satisfaction and say nothing more. This is exactly what I want. A well-honed blade should have its own edge. My people should be like this. With everything arranged, the sky has darkened. I decline David and Helen's dinner invitation and leave the old apartment building alone. As I pass a street corner, the rich smell of baking stops me in my tracks. Fresh mooncakes. I look up at the bright, full moon and finally realize. Tomorrow is the Mid-Autumn Festival, our biggest reunion holiday. Boss, give me a few boxes of mooncakes. Anything except 5-nut, I will take. I carry the gift boxes into the night. I tear open a salted egg yolk and lotus paste mooncake and take a hard bite. The familiar taste makes my eyes burn. The next second, my smile freezes. Mid-Autumn Festival. Mid-Autumn Gala. Rehearsal. The 52818 Altars message explodes in my mind. Those artists are growing impatient. They are doing their final rehearsal. Could it be in these next few days? Realization dawns in my eyes. At that moment, a faint singing voice drifts in on the night wind. The tone is mournful, racked with sorrow to the extreme. The melody is dark, twisted. Who is there? I flick my wrist and the soul dagger slides into my palm. Cold killing intent locks onto the surroundings, but there is nothing. An unexplained anger rises in me. The desolation and loneliness in that voice resonates, damnably, with the emptiness I feel right now from missing my parents. I lower my profile and melt into the shadows. A few minutes later, I push aside the tall grass in front of me, and my pupils contract. An abandoned open-air theater stands before me. The audience seats are empty, but the air is heavy as if filled with invisible ghosts. 3 completely different voices are weaving together on the stage. On the left, a desolate male role. In the middle, a sorrowful female role. On the right, a cackling clown. Male role, female role, and clown all present. I activate the Eye of Truth. The stage's disguise falls away. 3 altars reveal their true forms. The left altar is built from broken halberds and shattered armor, rusted with age. Altar number 1001. Connected coordinate, the Heavenly Opera House, the White Tiger Hall. Why do I fight my heart out against enemies only for the Emperor to suspect me of treason? Why do loyal subjects always meet bad ends? The center altar is built from phoenix crowns and pearl hairpins. Altar number 1003. Connected coordinate, the Heavenly Opera House, the Changman Palace. She weeps. Why did I give my whole heart to him, help him scheme his way to power over the world, only to end up dying alone? The right altar is built from hundreds of masks with different expressions. Altar number 1004. Connected coordinate, the Heavenly Opera House, the Hall of Faces. It laughs. Laughs at those who rise, laughs at those who fall, laughs that all the world's people are blind fools. 3 top-tier altar numbers. 1 full of resentment, 1 full of sorrow, 1 full of nihilism. The pattern is clear. The loyal general is the male role. The devoted noblewoman is the female role. The cunning clown is the clown. Male role, female role, and clown all complete. But for this play to be sung with right and wrong made clear, one role is still missing. The one with the fiercest temper. The one who dares flip the table and set the rules. The painted face. So this is an unfinished broken play. They are trapped in tragedy with no way out. The key to breaking this is not applause or strange offerings. They need a judge to deliver the verdict. If they need someone to flip the table, then let me. My thoughts drift to the operas my father loved most. The painted face role represents order, represents the will of heaven. They love and hate clearly. Loyalty and treachery are judged on sight. They are true characters who stand tall and proud. A man should be like the painted face role. Black is black, white is white. You need your own moral compass and you keep your spine straight. Under the moonlight, I shake my head and smile bitterly. Dad said it well, but he earned countless military honors only to die in a wrecked car. Did his loyal bones ever rest in peace? Mom had a heart of mercy, saving lives only for her white coat to be stained with blood. Grief and rage erupt from the deepest part of my soul like a volcano that has been building for billions of years. A broken play indeed. A fitting ending of dying without peace. A fitting tale of unwavering through life and death. I step onto the ruined stage. War drums seem to sound at my arrival. If we are going to perform, then let us perform until our hearts are spent. I walk to the edge of the stage and meticulously straighten my clothes. Proper attire is a sign of respect, not for this stage, not for these altars, but for the role I am about to play. I become the painted face and roar at the male role altar. General, what did you do wrong? The wrong was done by that foolish emperor who listened to slanderers. All your brothers are dead. You will not seek justice for them, and instead you wallow in self-pity here? Do you deserve to be called a general? This roar carries no operatic melody, only pure accusation and rage. I drop to one knee, and with a thunderous fist slamming into the stage, this strike sets the tone for the grievance. The male role altar shatters. The resentment dissolves. I shift my stance, turning to compassion as I face the female role altar. Lady, you did nothing wrong. The wrong was done by that scumbag who never deserved you. So many people in this world go hungry, so many poor women suffer. You are a high and mighty imperial consort, yet you're throwing your life away over nothing but a little romance. Do you deserve to be the mother of a nation? Your tragedy ends here by my hand. The female role altar's light dims. She submits. Then a giggling laugh rises again. The Hall of Faces altar's sly cackling does not stop. It only grows louder. Well done. Truly well done. But it is all fake. Your hate is fake. Your grief is fake. You are not the painted face at all. You are just a madman who jumped on stage to act out. The truth pierces through. The male role and female role altars, just subdued, surge with resentment again. This is not righting the world. This is desecration by an outsider. The clown keeps mocking. Ignorant. Pathetic. The painted face curls his lips and smiles too, but there is no warmth in that smile. Yes, I am fake. The whole stage falls into stunned silence. I point at my own heart, my voice raw. Your sorrows and joys were written in a script, flowers in a mirror, the moon in water. But me, my tragedy is real. My hatred is alive. Every second I have lived is 10,000 times more real than your broken play. Today, I make my own body the stage. The blade pierces flesh. I slash down hard, painting the face mask in blood. With my own blood, I paint a face that is upright and uncompromising yet bears a sea of blood-deep grudges and lives for vengeance. The pain is unbearable. But the smile on my lips only grows more deranged. The wavering white tiger hall and Changmen Palace are now completely subdued. Even the Hall of Faces altar, the one that prided itself on being clear-eyed and untouchable, freezes. The expressions on its hundreds of masks lock in place, turning to pure acknowledgement. I am Ethan, but I am also the painted face. Who dares say I am fake now? I am an orphan on the mid-autumn reunion night with no kin. I am a son with both parents dead and no vengeance to claim. Hatred for the heavens that are unjust. The orphan's grief and rage. I am not playing the opera deity. I am more wretched than a god. I am more real than a god. A thunderous roar erupts first from the White Tiger Hall altar. All killing intent and resentment vanish. Then the Changmen Palace altar collapses. The phoenix crowns and pearl hairpins shatter into fragments, transforming into a brilliant rain of gold. Finally, the Hall of Faces altar releases a long sigh that sounds like both crying and laughing, full of relief. The expressions on every mask dissolve into countless golden particles. 3 distinct streams of golden light mingle and shine, each radiating its own brilliance. Before I can catch my breath, a blood-red pillar of light descends from above, piercing through all the golden lights like a god-slaying spear. Holy crap, mythic grade. Before I can react, the 3 split streams of golden light transform into 3 torrents of information flooding into my forehead. 3 distinct visions appear in my mind. I see the general planting flowers in a mass grave after his death. I see the imperial consort ascending the throne, ruling the world. I see the clown removing his mask, shedding a single tear for a beggar. At the same time, I see the rewards. 3 treasures hover above the altars. I drop to one knee, my legs giving out. The mental strain is too much. I pull out a bottle of source blood and chug it. Massive life force flooding through my limbs, healing my wounds at an incredible pace. I slowly rise and walk to the White Tiger Hall altar. The Eye of Truth activates. Tyrant's Helm, Male Roll Series, Legendary. Function 1, Tyrant's Authority. The stronger your vitality, the heavier your aura. Increases physical damage reduction and damage proportionally. Function 2, Last Stand. When surrounded by 3 or more enemies of equal or higher tier, Tyrant's Authority's effect scales with their numbers. My eyes blaze. This passive is made for me. I move to the Changmen Palace altar. A jade pendant glows with shifting colors above it. Beauty's Pendant, Female Roll Series, Legendary. Function, Diversion of Disaster. All single target attacks aimed at you have a chance to be redirected, striking a random unit beside you instead. My face goes weird. This thing is creepy. Every assassin's worst nightmare. Finally, I turn to the Hall of Faces altar on the right. If the clown had not pushed me to the edge in those final moments, I would never have painted my face in blood. I am the opera itself. In a sense, this clown made me. I walk to the altar and gently take a dark red tooth in my hand. Reverse Tongue, Clown Series, Legendary. Function 1, Eye for an Eye. When affected by a negative status, has a chance to trigger a counterattack, reflecting the weakened effect back to the source. Function 2, a chance to reflect any negative status. My breath catches. In this superhuman era, curses and poisons come from every direction. If I can stack this chance high enough, I am untouchable. 3 legendary grade series items in one go. Pure profit. Finally, I look up, eyes locked on the center of the stage, exactly where the blood-red light from the heavens struck. The true grand prize. My heart pounds wildly. 3 legendary grade pieces are already absurd wealth, but that blood-red pillar from the heavens, descending from beyond the sky, was overwhelming, piercing through all 3 streams of golden light. Mythic grade for sure, but descending from the heavens like that, I have never seen anything like it. I carefully approach the faint glow. It is a sheet of painted skin as thin as cicada wings. The Eye of Truth activates. Performer's Visage. Painted Face Series. Mythic. Function. Visage of Awe. Once worn, any who meet the wearer's gaze feel fear and lose their will to fight. I burst out laughing. This Visage of Awe is strong, in the literal sense of the word. Even more terrifying, the Painted Face series has a full 7 pieces. If the entire set is mythic grade, what would the world look like once it is complete? The moon tonight is so beautifully round. My mood lifts considerably. After this battle, I think back to the other lines from the letter. Those artists are growing impatient. They are doing their final rehearsal. Especially him. He very much wants to meet you. After tonight's performance, the fog finally clears. Are those 3 from the Heavenly Opera House not the purest artists? Following this logic, before encountering the Heavenly Opera House, I did meet one before. With a flick of thought, a singed edged ticket to Act 4 appears in my hand. 4444, the Theater of Sorrows, a tragic heroine doomed to repeat her role on stage forever. Artist, female lead, she. Every clue connects into one line. The one mentioned in the letter is most likely this eternal heroine of the Theater of Sorrows. The photo of Vivian I despised I once offered, the one I hated and discarded, earned me the ticket. That was a karmic bond between me and her, already formed long ago. No wonder the Eye of Truth shows cause and effect. Offerings come with delayed payback apparently. I instinctively check the date on my phone. August 14th, Tomorrow is the Mid-Autumn Festival. Final rehearsal. The meaning is clear. What plays out tomorrow is not a mid-autumn celebration. It is the formal performance the artists from the Theater of Sorrows are presenting to the entire world. Two deadly questions stand before me. First, is the eternal heroine seeking me a blessing or a curse? Second, how exactly will these artists descend tomorrow? What do I do? A flash of fierceness crosses my eyes. I pull 3 core items from the dimensional vault. The Abyssal Dragon Egg, the Soul Dagger, the Bloodline Loyalty Worm. I gently touch the Soul Dagger. It is cold to the touch, yet linked to my soul. This thing has blocked plenty of mental attacks for me. My gaze shifts to the Bloodline Loyalty Worm. The 2 worms, one large and one small, crawl obediently onto my fingertip. From now on, you bear the name Soul too. I will call you Soul Worm. Finally, I look at the Abyssal Dragon Egg nuzzling against my arm. Calling you Little Black sounds bad. Soul Dagger, Soul Worm, Soul Egg, the Soul Name team is officially formed today. My phone buzzes. David is calling. Mr. Ethan, Stella's test results are all in. Every reading is normal. Good. Happy mid-autumn. Also, I made contact with the Black Shadow. They let me in straight away as an Outer Core member. Outer Core. I pause. Same level as Vivian. Still second rate. But the Black Shadow's hierarchy seems to be incredibly strict. Besides Mr. Ethan, I have been assigned to a large logistics warehouse in the East District. East District. My eyes flicker with understanding. So it really is not that Hawk guy's chemical plant. Remember, watch and listen. Stay safe. After hanging up, I sit under the eaves, drinking and eating mooncake. A bitter smile tugs at my lips. Dad, you better watch closely. The bright moon in the sky is swallowed by dark clouds. The world goes dim in an instant. Drip, drip, rain drops from the pitch-black sky. I check my phone. Midnight, August 15th on the lunar calendar. The Mid-Autumn Festival. Mid-Autumn peace and joy. May we all reunite. A few blessings, spending the last bit of warmth I have left. Killing intent rises instantly. It is time for me to take the stage. I pick up the large black umbrella leaning by the door. Whoosh! The black umbrella opens, shielding me from the gray rain that can wipe out any superhuman power. I do not look back. I step into the endless curtain of rain. Whatever unknown dangers are coming, I am going to take down a Black Shadow stronghold first. Black Shadow, here I come.